people had thought it may be easier by now, but I think the understanding is seeping through that even a 3% inflation rate, a general basket of goods, doesn't really mean that your costs are only going up by 3% in your household.
Can we just all agree that like CPI is a scam?
Some of these politicians are tricking us a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
the foundations have fundamentally been ripped apart.
We've actually been so regulated and so told what to do, and so many rules and so many papers to sign off that we're like, forget all of our abilities and just tick the box. What the
Oh, we're on.
We're
Jeez,
live.
a couple of battlers getting the tech going. How good. Righto. Well, welcome to an impromptu version of the Keep the Change podcast. Mate, it's good to see you. And I think people have been enjoying the Identity podcast that went out today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a bit of a deep one. We recorded that a little while ago now, but good to get it out. What have you been working on, mate? What are you seeing out there?
I've been doing a lot of thinking, bit of planning. I was in over in Noosa, and those like little 7-day trips of sunlight, I've come to find that they're quite good for you, eh?
Yeah.
Especially in the heart of a deep recession in winter in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's quite nice to get out of NZ, eh?
Yeah, I'm still in like work mode for the first 3 days, and I don't know why. I can't just like straight away cut off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit the same. Even when I get to Christmas time, I can't. My brain just defaults to content as well. So I'm thinking, I've got way more time. I could make seven videos now.
Yeah,
I have to be thinking maybe you can relax, man.
Yeah.
Maybe,
yeah. It's been a hell of a year, eh?
Yeah. We've got 3 months to go until Christmas. It's
Yeah.
the 25th of September today.
Wild.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're like 75% of the way through.
Did you think that the economy would be this grindy still, given that we're nearly in October?
Probably not exactly this situation that we're in, but something similar. You know, I thought we were going to be in this weird stagflationary type environment until 2030, 2032. So
Stagflationary means like what does that mean for the everyday person?
Just like continuous price increases, wages not keeping up, and it doesn't mean that unemployment needs to be, 6% or whatever it is though. So yeah, New Zealand's struggling a bit more than other places, eh? It's noticeable when you go to, or even we talk about this off the air. Like Auckland seems to be pretty damp.
Yeah.
When you go to Queenstown or Waiheke or
even Invercargill, they tell me.
Yeah. So like regional is a bit different. Definitely when you go to places like over in Aussie, you feel like there's more happening there. Also, when you go on holiday, you don't get a true sense because you're not like deep in it.
Nah.
So you're only like, when you go on holiday, you're not looking for like the dark parts of town, eh? You're just like go to the beach and the cafes and
yeah, thinking, well, everyone's friendly and everyone's nice, and
so it's hard to sort of judge it off that. But
yeah,
I think like mentally, I was just prepared for just like a war, eh? So this is all good.
Well, it's definitely been like that. I think people had thought it may be easier by now, but I think the understanding is seeping through that even a 3% inflation rate, a general basket of goods, doesn't really mean that your costs are only going up by 3% in your household.
Can we just all agree that like CPI is a scam? I think what's become very evident this year, especially while it's got harder to make money for many, many sectors, especially like construction, stuff like that, you spoke about this years ago, like everyone's got an individual inflation rate, eh? And it could be, the interest rates on your mortgage going up is something that goes towards your inflation rate because everything just got more expensive for you. And then also, the most evident things this year, from talking to people that want homes or that have mortgages and already, existing clients and stuff like that is, wow, power's got expensive, eh?
Yeah.
What's your water bill? Council rates. Mine went up 30%. And it's just like all of these things that
compound too. Yeah.
It's just brutal, eh? Like, it's a bit strange to continuously be asked for the purpose of comparison, like, what's your monthly water bill?
Yeah.
I never remember having those conversations, eh?
Yeah, it's a good point. Even because I pay all of those types of things in advance because I can't be effed with the like the admin of the monthly.
Yeah.
And I get them, and I think, how do I have to pay again? I feel like I paid $500 or something towards this, and I'm like, oh, well, you got through a little bit of the month before, and then the whole month, and now we're into this one. I'm thinking, what?
It's just coming at you fucking fast, eh?
Yeah, it's like I often say a good barometer is that most of us probably couldn't name the Reserve Bank governor before Sir Adrian Orr, probably because we didn't have to care as much about inflation and whatnot. Then we do know who he is because we went through such a tough time and we had to learn about inflation. You couldn't not learn about it or see it, and now we're being told, oh, inflation is decreasing and it's not 7%, so great. Well, yeah, cool. It still sucks at 3%.
Yeah.
But it's not really gone, you know, and the things that people want to buy, butter, flights, power, rates, etc.
All the ones with a monopoly on violence, the government and the councils, like, if you don't pay their ones, regardless of what they charge you, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, shit, I do have to pay that 50% higher, rates bill for my shitbox.
I saw someone campaigning recently with a pretty large profile that we should just not pay rates. And I think they were seriously suggesting it. I was thinking, you might get like 5 people that do this and they're going to end up in massive shit.
Well, to be fair, historically, this is like the way that revolutions begin, right? It's like, if enough people start feeling like they have to pay their rates over eating, eventually they go out on the street with pitchforks and be like, oi, council, come outside.
Yeah.
1 ounce.
Well, I suppose a little while ago we were hearing people talking about rent caps, and now it's almost gone to rate caps, right? And I don't think we saw rent caps, and I don't even think we'll see rate caps, but I guess it puts the pressure on people to think about like what the narrative is or how far those can push it. I got a notification today when I went on YouTube Premium. It's going from $23.99 to $28.99.
Oh, same. I got that,
yeah. I was like, okay, there's a 20% increase, just bang, just like that.
Yeah.
But it adds value to my life, so I'll still pay it. But I think we've talked about this before, but you're kind of almost held ransom by these platforms. Yeah. You were talking about the cost of ChatGPT and stuff in your lifestyle, in your life.
Yeah. I think I've got, somewhere between 5 and 10 AI subscriptions. It's like, they start adding up, eh? Like the latest one from Elon was like real expensive.
Sheesh.
So yeah, it's crazy, eh? Like, and you can get away with like trying to design your life to not be affected by it to a certain point, but you can't avoid those types of things.
Bro, when it's pretty normalised to think you're going to buy a tiny home and go live kind of on a piece of land.
Yeah, what are we doing, eh?
Yeah, when that's now normal. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, that actually is a really good suggestion. But I feel surely those people, when they tell their parents, oh, this is what we're going to do, they would go, are you well? Like, what? It sounds like hippie-ish.
Yeah.
But it's pretty, I hear that just like every month, easily from somebody, and that's what they're choosing to do. And I've got no shade on it, but it's so far from what used to be the kind of, what was like the quarter acre dream or the et cetera.
Yeah. I always said that about like, I got to be a little bit careful, I'll get in trouble. Like people say like, oh, I want to go camping. I'm like, well, that's because you can't afford a 5-star hotel. Because if I offered you both, which one would you choose? Yeah, that's like a very harsh way. I don't mean that, guys. I know camping's fun. I like hunting and shit. Yeah. But like it's kind of like we almost get forced because of the cost of everything, of how wild it's got, to use these or invent these new things like tiny homes and stuff like that,
and then normalise it
just to cover it up. So it's like normalise, and then it's like, it's okay to do this.
Even the types of houses in Auckland now, right? Condense them in. Oh no, yours doesn't come with a car park. What am I going to do with my car? Oh, don't worry, there'll be street parking.
I crack up at like people that talk about like we need to build more apartments. It's like no one wants them, man.
Apart from me.
Yeah, but you don't want to own one.
Yeah, it's
Imagine
true.
that body corp increase, mate.
Oh, yeah, that'd be scary.
Too many of us signed up to a KiwiSaver plan without much thought. And signing up is great, but if you've never got advice before, you could be missing out. Your KiwiSaver account could become one of your biggest assets over your lifetime. That's why getting expert advice early and ensuring you're in the right fund is so worthwhile. Generate have a team of KiwiSaver advisors available to help. Head to generatekiwisaver.co.nz/change to book a no obligation meeting. They can even come to you. A copy of the product disclosure statement is available at generatekiwisaver.co.nz. The issuer of the scheme is Generate Investment Management Limited, and of course, past performance does not guarantee future returns.
Fire through any questions. I'll keep an eye on these, but we'll turn it around and I'll show you Mikey because he's better looking. Well, arguably. Maybe you can vote on that too. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Taylor's out there smashing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She quit her job, so yeah, I've had a hell of a year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you got to tick off before the end of the year? Because
Holy shit. I feel like I've got so much more to do.
oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Australia, I came home, my car's ridden off, my missus quit her job, and got to find a new house, and yeah, I'm under it.
Isn't it funny how you go away for a holiday and you come back and then bang, you've got
Straight into it.
Yeah, like
just
that.
in case you thought you wanted a day, nah.
yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah.
And that car's proper ridden off too, eh?
Yeah, it bent the floor.
Yeah.
It was just parked outside our house, so I felt it was a little old lady, and she luckily she was fine. But I felt really sorry to her. I spoke to her the next day because I needed some insurance details and stuff, and I'm not sure how old she was, like 70 or 80. And she'd had a bad run, and she was coming home from her brother's house who had just died.
Oh, no.
And she was cleaning up the house, and it was raining, and she hit our car and blah, blah, blah. So the main thing is that she's all right. That's why you have insurance, right?
That is good. Yeah, that's glad that she does.
Yeah. So she'll get a nice new car, and I'll buy Bitcoin.
This afternoon, my phone rings. And I normally don't take it, but it was getting close to 5. I answer it. Hello, Luke speaking. And it's someone at the end, I'm thinking, oh, they're mistaking us for the IRD. And then I was like, oh, this lady sounds quite old. She starts asking me, oh, are you, Kate who does the podiatry or something? I'm like, no, that's not me. And long story short, I played along with it for a bit. And I was like, well, what number have you rung? She tells me my number. And I was like, nah, I don't think that's her number. And then I was like, well, who's the person? And I'm like, I've got a big database of everyone in New Zealand. I reckon I can find them. and she tells me she's 92.
Wow.
She wrote down this person's number 7 years ago when she had some podiatry issues.
Oh, my goodness.
And she wants to get back in touch.
Imagine having to live like that. That's how they used to live.
Yes,
We don't
that's
have
exactly
Google,
what Phil was saying. So I'm pretty sure
That was normal.
I was trying. So I literally, she told me her name. It was Jess the podiatrist. And I said, well, where do you live? And I thought she's going to say, you scamming me or something. But she said, oh, I live in Hamilton. I said, how about the Chiefs? Oh, I'm more worried about the boys and how they go tomorrow. Talking about the All Blacks. I said, how good looking is that Damien McKenzie? Oh, yeah, I'm allowed to say that. You're not. Anyway, I said, okay, so let's search for Jess's Podiatry Hamilton. Shout out to Jess's Podiatry in Hamilton. I'm pretty sure that was it. And it pops up first. Jessica Dobbs Podiatry. Waikato Mobile Podiatry Specialist, and lists her number, and it's very close to mine.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got old mate the number.
There you go, mate. There's your good deed for your day.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, there's a question here. Do you think the tiny home downsizing movement is due to the cost of mainly or partly due to people's having so much shit, simplify their life more, get more time back in their day, etc.?
No, I think it's mainly because we're poor.
Yeah, because if you wanted more convenience, wouldn't you get a townhouse or like with no grass, for instance, or an apartment? Like they're lower maintenance than a tiny home.
Yeah,
and a piece of land.
I've
wouldn't they be?
been in tiny homes and stuff like that, and been to friends that have had them, and they're kind of cool because it's like a bit of a novelty. It's like,
shit,
wow.
I have to interrupt.
Uh-oh.
Scott Barrett joined.
Oh,
You're joking.
legend.
I think he's injured. He can't play tomorrow. Hopefully you heard that story. Hopefully it's the Scott Barrett. I apologize for your injury, mate, but I just read he's not going to be able to play, which is a big shame. Getting along to the game. Sorry, I interrupted you. I just got a bit excited there.
Is he actually?
Yeah, legit.
Oh, legend.
Yeah, I'm not making it up. Yeah, what a guy. Hey, All Blacks tuning in. You've been to some tiny homes?
And it's kind of cool, like you're in there and it's like you're sitting on the couch and you're like, oh, do you want a cup of tea? And like, yeah. And then the kitchen pops out of the wall and like,
Oh, wow, nice.
It's like quite cool, you know, like there's novelty factor. But then if you, like I always do, I like close my eyes and I'm like, this is quite cool. I could live like this, because you start thinking in your head like, you know, and it's a cheaper way to do it and stuff like that. And then it's like, yeah, but if I had 10 mil, I'd still live on a cliff with a sea view. So you got to go and make 10 mil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Any recommendations on where to research some options? Probably ChatGPT if you do want to research tiny homes. I don't know heaps about them. Can Mikey give us an update on what's happening in the housing market? Yeah, we'll come to that. But firstly, someone says, oh, okay, this is their first bit. I'm an Aussie working in the mines, stacking up decent savings, but no idea what to do with it until I'm ready to buy a property, roughly at 80K. Well, don't you want to buy a property? So isn't the answer simple? It's not financial advice. But if it were me and I wanted to buy a property and I had 80K, I would figure out how I made the 80K and be like, I'm going to keep stacking, because the more that you stack, the less you're going to have to borrow. And the less you borrow, the less time you have paying the bank interest. And the less time you have paying the bank interest, the sooner you can get to then not having to pay a mortgage. And then you can start investing, you can compound, and you can be fucking minted. Simple? Does that work?
That's it, mate. You've done it. Clocked it.
Cool. So like, let's not overcomplicate these things, you know? Like, you can't be taking risk with the cash if you really want to buy a property.
Man, overcomplicating, Overthinking, overcomplicating is a massive thing.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing a pod on that. When we
Yeah.
were shooting the shit about that. Should we get into that quickly? Just at a high level.
Because a lot of stuff is way more simple than we like to believe.
Just like that, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, I want a house. Cool. Like,
Save
save
for it.
up, get a loan, buy the house.
Yeah, or like go and listen to the podcast we did about preparing yourself to get the loan. So the question might actually be, okay, then what do they need to know? They probably need to find out from a mortgage advisor, okay, what are my next steps, and then what do I need to be aiming for?
Yeah, it is a good idea to like think about who you need in the process on the way to doing something. So like maybe answering that question is, first you want to figure out how much you can borrow.
Yeah.
And
They've actually refined it. No, 100% still stacking, and what to do with the cash instead of it sitting in the bank. Like,
Oh,
but, well, I'll answer this before Mikey says something with a B. If you're hell-bent on buying a property, like, you can't be taking any risk. So it doesn't, like,
Yeah.
the bank is probably the perfect place for it, unless the bank goes under. So you probably want your first 100 grand stacked in one bank, and then the next.
even KiwiSaver guys are like, oh, when they're talking to people, they're like, oh, do you ever plan to buy a house in the next year or two? And then they're like, well, we probably shouldn't go into
Risky.
aggressive, risky growth, you know,
Yeah.
targeting stuff. I mean, it might work out, but it's also like risk of 20% down or whatever. Then it's like, that makes it harder to save for your house.
Yeah, because let's say you do go into the stock market and then Trump goes tomorrow, oh, right, I've decided we're going to go to war with China because I don't like the way they're talking to us. Well, then your 100 might become worth 85 on screen.
Yeah.
You're going to go, I knew I shouldn't have taken it out of the bank.
Yeah.
Like, cash is a tool, and you aim it towards the thing you want to achieve.
What he's really asking for is, how do I do it
How do I
faster?
do it faster? Yeah. Man, we've done this for too long. Yeah. Just be happy with the 4% interest. Well, bro, we keep giving you the answer, and you keep wanting to take more risk. So at some stage, you got to figure out if you're Barry Big Bollocks or not, and you're going to risk the money, and then find out if it doesn't work out for you that you got your lesson, that you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to.
Everyone wants me to say buy Bitcoin, I'm not going to say it though.
Yeah, who knows? But this is not financial advice, of course. Thoughts on term deposits? Oh, this is the same thing. Anyway,
Term deposits are dog shit.
Okay, there we go. Mate, I learned today $160 billion in term deposits.
Still.
Yeah, well, it's gone from 100 to 160. Now, the average term deposit rate has gone from 6% to now we're into the 4s, I believe.
No
so that's
shit.
slowly coming down, but you lose.
That's all the people getting out of the property market.
Well, yeah.
It is.
Like, but where's that money going to go to this time round? Does it go back into property, or does it go into stocks, or does it stay in term deposits, or does it get bank and mum and dad like gifting? And
it's going to be interesting, eh? That's a lot.
Yeah. How's your troops performing, Luke? Yeah, my troops are actually looking pretty good. Like,
Everything's at all-time highs.
Yeah, I can't believe how well the markets are doing. For me, I'm like, hang on, this is. But
It is interesting because when you go and look at, like, if you dive into US data and stuff like that, there's all those revisions that happen, and the jobs data is starting to look a bit shaky, and it's like, how is all of this stuff looking like it's walking on a knife edge?
Yeah.
And everything's at all-time highs, eh? But there's also, like, markets are funny, eh? What's that saying? They stay solvent longer than you. Oh, they stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
it's like you can be reading like, oh my God, this is 2007 waiting, 2008 waiting to happen, and it might not crash for 2 years, which means you missed out on 100% gains or whatever the, you know. So, yeah.
Mate, you won't believe it. Like, look at the timing. I finally got the bottom.
Nice, you did. That's years of experience though, eh?
Mate, that's a fluke. All right, so someone asked how are the troops going, and you remember I posted about this. So I got in at this real volatile time down here, and now we're all the way back up here.
Elon was getting punched by Trump.
Yeah, so I think my investment is up 26%. So my 12.7K in at US dollars, and it's now worth $16,000. Mate, I've got a $3,300 US unrealized gain. Guess how much different my life feels?
Yeah. I know where you're going with that, but it does make it better.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. Let's, oh, geez, I better, I just was about to scan down all these other rash things that I have here. Maybe we'll dive into this one. Tesla is probably more exciting. Got $30 in my wallet. It's been dollar cost averaging the whole way through, mate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
$30.
In my wallet. Yeah, that's all I've got in my wallet.
Oh, right. Because you put it all in Tesla.
Yeah.
That's good dollar cost averaging, mate.
Yeah, it's tidy, yeah.
Yeah, real tidy.
Yeah, and some of those are like big purchases at the dip down there. Like, well, bigger.
I thought you were going to say at the peak, back up there.
Well, some of them, okay. Anyway.
Do you have to catch yourself now, or have you trained your emotion to be autopilot? Or do you have to catch yourself and be like, oh, it still feels like it's crashing, but I know I need to deploy? Or you're just like, doesn't matter, go.
I have doesn't matter I go every week, but I more have it feels too good to be true, something's coming.
You see flip. So most people are like, I need to go into conservative fund with my KiwiSaver.
Yeah.
And you're like, send it.
Or when it tanks, I'm okay, send. But now at the moment, I'm like, this seems too... What I grew up learning about investing was volatility, choppy, 7% is good. I'm like, how is it 13% this year?
Yeah.
But there's a war and there's all this shit going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? So I guess
but the
I'm
market's
like
sniffing out the printer coming, right? Like the Fed just cut rates the other day, and they talked about 3 more, and there's.
Oh wow! Do you ever think there would be a market for a tiny home retirement village? Cheaper options, maybe something for crowmen, but may not be in the current retiring generation with the stigma around it. I honestly think there could be one of those like, you take your camper van and you park that up, and then there's shared services.
That's
and
called
stuff.
being a gypsy.
Oh, okay. We already have that.
And to be fair, they look after each other.
Yeah, naughty.
They have to. They don't pay tax.
Someone says, I think you're onto something there, Ollie. They don't pay tax. Mikey's throwing it around. Someone says, not Bitcoin, Chainlink.
Fuck. Fucking crypto, eh?
P.S. Still live in a standard house with a garage full of toys, just food for thought. One of the Warriors has just tuned in as well. Tough end to the season if he's still tuning in, but shout out, mate. Came to the game.
Win again, eh?
Oh, mate, the game was epic. Like, as much as the Warriors struggled against the Panthers in that last game, like, the place was kitted out. People were happy. They were getting stuck into the ref. It was just like a true league crowd. It was, it's good. The country needs it. Dividend time soon. Yeah, I've been getting some dividends recently. Mikey, could you please share the gold video you mentioned on latest pod? I can't find it and have now watched heaps of his post-game interviews, and I really don't like golf. Oh, golf one. You mentioned someone golf, and they said,
Oh, Scotty Scheffler pre-British Open press conference.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so just Google that.
That's kind of where he's saying he's not golf, right? Like, that's not who he is.
Yeah.
Epic. I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. I've chatted to both of you two over the years on DM, started by flipping cars to get some dollars to start my clothing biz now. Taika Waititi, where's my stuff? Fuck yeah, well done.
Fuck mean.
That's epic, eh? Like, the amount of stuff, the boy's alive, David Baker, rapper QS, he's probably knee-deep in some QS report of the Rotorua Council or something. Thanks for the motivation and love seeing you guys still going. Loved the speed pod. Nice.
Speed is king, baby.
Yeah. The amount of people that have mentioned speed greed to me post
that seems to be the like sort of one-liner that came out of it, eh?
Yeah.
People were writing it on LinkedIn and stuff.
Yeah.
And tagging me in it.
It is pretty crazy when you start creating so much content that people start like referencing your content or
it's
talking
cool.
about you, and Yeah, or
It's
mugging
cool
you.
if it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I did a post about on Twitter about the new central bank lady.
Governor, yeah.
Yeah, she's Swedish, from the Swedish central bank. She was the deputy governor over there. She's now our governor. And like, I took the piss. Oh, you saw my Instagram one.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like satire. It's like, she only fucked up their economy and had rampant inflation. And I did the same on Twitter. But on Twitter things, the retweet thing, and people quote the tweet and stuff like that. So when it goes...
Oh, yes, and they can leave a comment.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one's...
You need
the comments, man. I just turn the notifications off.
you triggered a few people.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Someone says Stuart says just saved 40% of my income this week. Epic. Silver been on the mean pump.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Week's not over, baby. It's Thursday.
Yeah. True. Make that 50%, please, Stuart. Yeah. It is kind of crazy, you know, for when you read the media narrative, you dig into some of the data, you know actually how tough it is out there, especially, you know, Auckland, Wellington. But then, like, you see some of these wins people are having.
Yeah, it's mean.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, eh?
Yeah.
And I was
it's even cool, like, when you walked in today and then Bryce rolls in and he's like, man, I'm, like, under it. I've got so much on. I'm burning midnight oil.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool.
Yeah. And it just, you know, for as hard as we always think it is, there's always somebody who's making it not hard. And I think those are the people that I gravitate towards. I've been listening to this week, like a podcast, but it's an audio book, the Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. It's just so many little nuggets in there. And I think I heard an economist talking earlier about all the negative stats around New Zealand and like you can't deny them, it's all true and it's all data. But then about how like the narrative is so bad that now we're trapped in this sort of narrative loop. So how can you have confidence when you're being told not to have confidence and you were told to survive to 25, but now 2025 data looks bad? How could you, you know, like, and we've been in this patch for so long that once you're there for that long, it's so hard to get out there, get out the other side. And I keep saying, it's like the narrative has to change, or we're going to have like a moment where we just then stop talking about how bad it was and all of a sudden it's like a little bit better and then we're like, oh yeah, remember it was only a year ago when unemployment was that or whatever. That still feels like that's some way away. But I think you've got to control the narrative yourself.
It's always like economic cycles and stuff like that. It's always stairs up, elevator down the way. Yeah. It's always like a slow rise from the ashes. The phoenix doesn't just rise up and then, very rarely anyway, you know, like, I mean, it did during COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone thought the world was going to end and then we were like, nah, we got this mean turbo print thing we can do.
I'll see it at the open homes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. You just got to make sure you manage like what circles and groups in like content. Your content is real important.
Yeah.
I think that's almost more important than who you're around, you know, like.
Yeah, well, your proximity to content is way faster and way more accessible now than who you're spending time with.
Yeah.
Right?
And I reckon I do a little bit less now, but I go through patches. Like I've been listening to music more recently as opposed to like podcasts and stuff, but like looking back in the past, when I've come into like periods of peak performance, like I will only listen to like My First Million podcast, Alex Hormozi, like business stuff. And it's the only thing I'm allowing into my brain. Like I get home at night and I turn on YouTube and I'm learning.
Yeah.
Get in the car in the morning, podcast learning. And like, it sounds a bit psycho, but there's no news, there's no war, there's no like division, there's no politics, there's no, you know, nothing coming at me that is, it's not even that it's like a distraction. It's like no negativity almost.
Nice.
Because it's doing is just feeding you stuff and you pick up on nuggets and then you get into the office and you're like, gonna do that. That was a real good idea. And then you think about how you know, this guy talked about how he used it in his e-commerce. I'm like, how do I implement that in mortgages? You know, like I'm pretty sure it's healthy, even though it sounds psychotic.
Nah, it's no different to people who got caught up in FOMO with housing. You know, they didn't just wake up and decide, you know what, like I'm going to go and buy a property. That had to have come from somewhere. You know, and then we just mirror what each other are doing. Yes, yeah. It's not speed greed, it's greed.
You got to zoom out on greed. Greed is good, but because incentives matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to zoom out on it and be like, am I earning this or what's happening here? And then be calculated in how you do it.
Yeah.
Because there are people that are very clever and sold everything in November 2021.
A few things that I've been reminding people of, and one is that with business owners, when they're complaining about the government's plan, I'm like, can you just tell me yours then? And it's a very quick fire way to find if someone has a plan or not. And I think we're really quick to point the finger at government and other people and be like, they need to, and then you say, well, what's your plan? What are you aiming for? What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we spend less time thinking about that,
It's an interesting one, eh? And what's funny is that is so vital. So like if I was gonna announce now that I'm gonna go and join the Labour Party and run for Prime Minister, I'm 34 years old, I would be starting my plan of how I'm going to do it, the way I'm going to market, what I'm going to make, like big topics that I'm going to talk about. I'd be planning, and I wouldn't be doing it until I was 40. Like that's actually how much time and effort it takes to succeed at something massive, eh?
Yeah.
And you get no return for between now and then you still might not get it if you don't do it right. And then it's like, but you don't put like a Sunday's effort in to plan your week.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Ask Scott. Do you reckon he just woke up and just...
Oh, the golfer?
No, who was watching? Do you reckon he just became an All Black?
Yeah. Or even old mate that saved 40%.
Yeah.
Like
it
he's
doesn't just
focused
happen.
on it.
Like you've got to like put effort in, think about it, work. Yeah.
The thing that fucks me off about the overall tone of the country is that like there's no hope, it can't be done, and you're fucked. And I just think if you tell the wrong mind that enough, what are they going to believe?
Yeah, well, it does create, man,
and then
I
it just
hate
creates more resentment.
Bank, eh?
Say it again.
The central bank, in the way that central banks, what they did through that period is, there's a lot to blame there.
But also you've got to have strong reasons. And I know we cover all this stuff all the time, but Phil and I just went away and we did business planning last week, right? And we're going into year 9, and we're reviewing our old business plans and some of the things that we thought we could see happening, like they're happening for sure. And now you're into this maturity stage of the business where you go, the plan is kind of do more of what's working, do less of what isn't, because we've done so much testing and shit that if we do that, like that'll happen, and then we'll get paid that, and then we'll pay tax, and then we'll have that left.
Yeah.
And so what we were doing is reverse engineering how many of the types of services that we do do we then want to do? Okay, and so then we list them out in numbers, and do we have the capacity to do that? Yep. Okay, if we want to get those, what are we going to need to do? So then Luke's got to then try and work out the marketing piece to figure out, okay, how do we attract that number? And then I have a meeting with our marketing team yesterday. I'm like, okay, here's where we're going. Here's what we're going to need to do. Here's some of my ideas. I need your help to execute them. I need your strategic expertise to go, that's shit idea, Luke. You need to do it like this. And I can already see what my financial result looks like in 12 months now.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so I need to record 4 podcasts a week. I need to send out 3 emails, and like start going through the inputs to then get that. And
Reverse engineering is so powerful, eh?
But I said to Phil today, I was like, I can see why people don't do it, eh? I'm like, if people knew how much work, how much inputs there are to then get those outputs, fuck me. I can see why people go, oh no, fuck that. Like,
this is so funny because it's like, I was listening to this podcast a couple of days ago, and he was like, these are the rules of money. And he's like, these are one of the 4 things you need to be good at to make money. And the first one was sales. He talked about sales. And I was like, very good rule. And then he's like, this is how you get good at sales. He's like, you go find a sales job and you take the job and you find the top performer in the company and you go and it's your job to sit next to him. It's your job to be there when he turns up and and you're the last one to leave. And if he does 100 calls, you do 200 and you listen and learn. And instantly in my head, I'm like, that's why no one does it.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. And it's like the effort and the work that goes into it. But the other part that you have to like build in, which I use on myself all the time, is like, if you don't do this, where you are now is where you will be in 12 months.
Yes. And do you want to be there?
And then I just scare the shit out of myself with it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to be broke.
The other thing is that, okay, the inputs look like this at the moment, but in 12 months' time, something will happen in that wouldn't have happened if I don't do the inputs, and it'll completely change the game again.
Yeah.
So, like as an example, Amy becomes a sponsor of Keep the Change, for instance. If I'm not doing next advisory marketing and then attracting her into my world, then liaising with her, finding out, shit, we really gel, she can help people, that doesn't happen.
Yep.
You know? So then you look back and you think, oh, maybe, like you do the inputs, but then you always learn something in the period too. So as
I was
much
about
as,
to say, you get better at doing it all too.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you learn something new, all of the existing stuff gets more refined. The systems and processes get put in place, your operating procedure, and it becomes things that you were up all night learning in year one, trying to figure out how to run like a meta ad or whatever, are autopilot.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
because you've got the reps, and then there's other stuff. And that, what happens is once you do that and you're good at that, you're like, cool, that's producing volume now. Then I've got this like weird capacity in my mind to think about something else, and something else comes up and you're like, cool, I can dig into that, bolt that on, and things start to compound over time, eh?
Yeah, and like, because I guess everyone thinks, I'm so far down the path these days and whatnot, and like today I recorded a video, mate. This is I'm trying to get in the habit for next advisory of creating some bite-sized 5-minute pieces of YouTube content. YouTube channel might be at 1,200 subscribers or something. So I make this video. It takes me like 5 minutes, and I sit there and I just talk.
Yep.
But I'm like, I'm learning. Okay, what am I going to talk about? What do I think people will, be engaged in? What am I going to call it? And it's got 8 likes and 44 views.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting from the bottom again, trying to build something another thing. But I know that, that something good will come of that. But even if it doesn't, I'm uploading it and thinking, awesome, I just got some thoughts out of my head and practiced for 5 minutes, knowing that I could be judged by this, so I'm more careful and articulate with it. And there is just so much value in doing the reps, but people don't want to do them.
I don't want to do them.
Yeah.
I'm
questioning whether I do them.
You're so good at it though, eh? In terms of like your action taking ability is the highest I've ever seen anyone in my life.
Yeah.
Whereas like my one, I have to force on myself. It's a hell of a. I think I'm probably closer to most people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm like more normal. You're a fucking space cadet in that regard. Like you're just like off.
Well, a good example, we're away business planning, me and Phil, and I'm like, oh, mate, I really need some Google reviews for the work you've been doing. Like, I can't believe you don't ask people at the end of it. He's like, oh, yeah, I always forget that. I was like, yeah, well, can we message them now? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, let's make a list of them. I was like, mate, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
And Mike, we don't, like, let's do it now. Yeah. So, oh, we can do it. No. Everything is like, oh, activator. But the beautiful thing is that he did, and we're doing planning and then doing. So then I'm like, great, now we can use those for marketing. And, But yeah, I have to like hold myself back from action taking sometimes.
It's so good.
It's wild. I remember when I was learning about, like money losing its value and stuff for the first time. I'm like, I'm going to message that Peter Schiff guy and ask him like, bro, I'm a living New Zealand man. How do I buy gold?
Yeah.
He didn't reply, but I kept looking.
He was too busy doing Tommy John's underwear.
Yeah. Yeah. Most Kiwi don't have a financial plan. They have a she'll be right, mate attitude. Amy from Leverage is helping KTC listeners change that. If you're needing direction, clarity, or wondering what your next financial move should be, then book a call with Amy or download her free DIY financial plan to freedom. To do that, visit financialplan.co.nz. Someone said, love you guys. Someone's like a general
Love you too.
property type. What are you seeing out there? The advisors busy around the country?
Yeah, so first, probably, we've had months of like, there's an uptick. Oh, that's interesting. Like pre-approvals are up massively, but like settlements are only moving slowly and stuff like that. People are sitting on their approvals. Like this last sort of 6 weeks, massive uptick, the most noticeable one I've seen for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's just that interest rate thing, man. Like, as much as I say, like, try and, live your life away from relying on it and stuff like that. It's just not how the game works. Like,
Yeah.
you do lower interest rates and I can afford a house. One thing that is interesting, and I noticed this because I'm looking at a house for myself and I don't know if I'll buy or rent. I'm impartial. Like, if a nice rental comes up, I'll just take that. But when I'm looking and then I see a house that is like meets some of the requirements that I want, the rent and the mortgage costs for my standards are closing the gap.
Yeah.
So I might look at something and it's $1,500 a week in rent, and then I'm like, see another place and it might not be quite as good, but it fits, like, ticks boxes, and I'm like, oh, the mortgage on that's $1,500 a week. And that is interesting, or it might be $1,700 for the mortgage or something. It's closing, you know, whereas if I was doing that calculation a year ago when interest rates are at 7, the mortgage was $2,500 a week on the same type of thing, right? So then it is me, because I like maths and money and looking at, you know, is this stupid or not? I'll be like, why would I take out a $2,500 mortgage when I can rent the same house for $1,200 or whatever the difference is?
Yeah.
But because that gap's closing, it's only a matter of time before people start. You know, if you're in a rental and you have the standard human desire of wanting your own place, which is completely natural and everyone should probably have that, apart from you. When you're looking on Trade Me and stuff like that, and you dig a bit deeper because something catches your eye and you're like, oh, the repayments are not too far off the rent. And then you start digging in and you're like, maybe I should call Guardian Smith and see, like, if I can borrow that amount or whatever it is, because when it gets closer, people do take action.
Yeah.
But if it was stupid, you're like, oh, can't buy a house. So, like, that affordability factor's coming back, and the problem is normally, like, when that stuff ties up, it's like closing in on a bottom. So, but I don't think property prices are going to take off anytime soon.
No, it's been interesting to see, like, a lot of the economists, I've started calling them, or spelling it ECONOMISSED.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like I've come up with that, eh?
Yeah.
Bang, another one.
They've been missing their marks.
Yeah. A number of them coming out saying, that they're not expecting as higher rises to house prices this year. It's like, no shit.
Yeah.
But now it's already,
3
we're
months
predicting
left.
for next year. Did you see?
Have you seen forecasts for next year? Are they pumping them again?
I think I've flippantly, it's just all the same shit, like 5, 7, maybe 3, modest house growth. It's
Interest rates are funny, because something that never gets talked about is it's the cost of capital, right? And we go from, mortgage interest rate of 7 to 6 and 6 to 5 or whatever, or the OCR's moving from 3 to 2.75 or whatever. But it's the cost of capital in terms of percentage differences is so wild. We standardize the 0.25 reduction or increase in OCR, right? Doesn't matter if the OCR is 5.5 or 0.5. Like, we standardize. That's the normal amount they move it. But when the OCR is 1 and we reduce it by 0.25 or 0.5, that's a 50% reduction in the cost of capital overnight.
Yeah.
But when it moves from 5 to 4.75, that is not a 50% reduction in the cost of capital.
No.
It's kind of fucked, if you think about it. Like, overnight, it's no wonder shit gets volatile when interest rates are low, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, money costs half as much today.
It's a little bit like unemployment, where we were saying to people, it's at 4.2, but we're saying, well, no, it's like, 4 point something, we're like, but it could go to 5 point something. It's like, that's a 20% increase.
Yeah, and the people that don't have a job.
It's only 1%,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the same, like, how can a 50% reduction in the cost of capital be the same as a 3% reduction in the cost of capital when the interest rates are at 7?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, 10% or whatever the number is. Like, that's, yeah, I've just been playing with that in my head lately, thinking, no wonder shit gets wild when they lower them this much, eh?
And I reckon the markets know, and this is my 3-share assessment to have this conclusion, Mikey. But let me show you not Argosy Minerals on the ASX. You don't want to see that. That's down 80%. Argosy Property on the NZX. So it's a property company. Argosy Property Limited is a New Zealand-based property company. The company's principal activity is investment in properties which include industrial, office, and large format retail properties, predominantly in Auckland and Wellington, two of the most depressed regions. Its offices properties include Khyber Pass, Grafton, Carlton, blah, 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 blah. Righto. Check out the share price over the last 6 months, mate. Exactly. It is just like, look at this. We've got 23% growth in 6 months. Okay, but if I draw you a 5-year graph, like, look, boomfa, like down, peak, like bottoms out, and what's that? Probably April 2025, or $1 a share. You're now at $23. Okay, so that's one. Now, if I give you Kiwi Property Group, I think they're called.
Yeah, the smart money knows that rates are coming down, eh?
Yeah. What have we got? I'm sure it's Kiwi Property Group. So same thing if I show you 6 months. Cool. You've got a bottom at about 83, and now you've got an 18% change in 6 months.
I don't know anything about these companies, but do they all have like massive liabilities? So their cost is reducing massively?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe like cap rates change and all that stuff changes the valuation of housing. Yeah. But I'll show you this other one. It's an amazing New Zealand company. It's one of the best companies you can find in New Zealand. It's called Heartland Group Holdings, mate. Check them out over the like. Look at this, mate.
Baby.
Look at this. Even they're up off the bottom.
Yeah.
For the last 6 months. You know, they're up 27% in 6 months.
Wow.
So for me, I think like, I look at that and I go, the whole thing has been so depressed. I know it's only 3 sample sizes, but it's close to the printer. It's close to property.
They are directly linked to whatever the OCR is, right?
Yeah, and the money is going.
The whole system, the whole property Ponzi runs on debt. So
yeah, I'm going to buy a bit of that up. So yeah, good to see Heartland Bank back over the $1 mark. Shout out to them. Not sure where that sponsorship's coming, but I'll take it in shares. It's just a joke, guys. Just a joke. Right, what else? So I asked my broker today, are people buying? He said pre-approval is up. Buyers are being fussy. Great for my staging business. I like that. Like, I like fussy rather than FOMO. FOMO fucks me off because people do things that they end up regretting. Will Heartland Bank pop instead? Well, it hasn't. What does pop mean? Does it? Can have 2 meanings. Uranium mines are certainly popping. Uranium Energy Corp. Let's go. Haven't looked into that.
Energy in general looks like a good global trade, right? Like if you look at the globe, there's all this tension around war and everything, yet the infrastructure and compute power required for AI and all these big, gigantic plans. The AI thing is interesting, right?
Here we go.
This is bugging me big time because it has been hyped so hard.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, I use it a lot. But something is like making me uneasy about the AI thing. Like they say, like we need to build these mega centers and data centers and the build out. And Larry Ellison's raising, which is Oracle, is raising like 20 billion in US debt, and there's all this stuff. But it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a little bit like the internet, eh?
Well, you're just thinking a bit bubbly, a bit like just
and stuff like, yes, it might be life changing and stuff like that, and yes, it moves fast like the internet did and things like that. But I almost reckon we've expected it to move faster than it can. You know, like, and that was the same thing as what they had in like what they call the .com crash in like 2000, 2001 with the internet, and people just going public and market booming, and then everything, including the likes of Amazon and shit, just like
sent
and then crashed like 80%.
Yeah.
I don't know. The AI thing is interesting, eh? Like, if it's that productive and that good, like, why are we worried about the US national debt?
Because they'll have so much growth that the debt levels won't really matter because they'll shrink effectively.
Yeah. It's a very strange...
Yeah.
I can't get my head around it, but something feels a little bit iffy to me. I feel like we need to have a clean out of the markets and then let it go.
Yeah.
And get capital reallocated, because it feels like a little bit in the AI space, and well, crypto, AI sort of crypto hasn't done that very good this year, I guess. It's been okay, but like AI kind of feels like crypto in 2021, I reckon. Everyone's like, oh, like the YouTube videos are popping up like, here's
You've
how to
got 2 years left.
here's how to make $1 million a month using 7 agents with these platforms. I'm like, yeah, fuck, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I did to make $100,000 last week. It's like, fuck up. You did not. Like, it's all just a bullshit, eh? And there are some genuine guys that are very helpful on there for using tools, and they're right in the thick of it. But it just feels a bit like that, you know?
Yeah, I do wonder as well, like New Zealand, we're always behind. We like to think we're ahead, but often it's like the outliers are ahead. And really, we'll start doing AI agents and shit once we see someone doing it and doing it really well. And we're like, oh,
once the government tells us we're allowed to.
Yeah. You know, like something like that, right? But yeah, you're right. Bitcoin's only up 19.37%. I say only.
Yeah.
Only up. God, it's bloody boring.
I think gold's doing better.
Mate, I'll show you.
Gold is insane.
Yeah. Well, look.
That's the scariest chart in the world to me.
Yes. We'll unpack that in a second as to why that is. But back to my Peter Schiff comment, you know, I'm like, okay, he didn't reply. I need to go figure it out. I found that on Hatch you could buy share indexes in gold and stuff. I'm like, I need to get some. The world's ending. What's going on? So it was August 2020, bro.
Nice.
22nd of August 2020.
Shit, you were way ahead of it.
Piling his money in. Okay, so I take you to November 2021. I'm like, why am I down 17%?
So good.
I'm like, fuck. Am I early? Am I wrong? Like, why does this keep happening to me? I think I know what's going on. I think I know. And then I get to April 2022. I'm like, break even again. Bang. In 2 years, I haven't had that money to do some work for me. Anyway, I take you through to, let's say, let's go to March 2023. I'm 31% down on my little gold and silver portfolio. It takes me all the way until July 2024 for it to be nearly break even again.
Yeah.
So that's 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good math. 4 years.
My inflation adjusted, you're down like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My $5,000 can't buy what it used to buy.
Yeah.
And now it is worth, so it was $5,000 basically, let's say, and it's now worth 9. What have I got?
So it's 100% return.
Nearly, yeah, like 80%. So 9,000. Well, let's just say 9,000 to keep it simple. And all of that has happened like in this last sort of 6 months. So, you know, we did that
pretty much since Doge failed.
Oh, has Doge failed? I got some of that too. Oh, you mean Doge, I thought you meant the Doge
Department
coin.
of Government Efficiency in America.
I brought some Dogecoin some stage. It's sitting somewhere.
You probably lost it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay, so that's when people went, shit, they're not going to be able to get this under control.
Well, it was all like, you know, when Trump said he was going to come in and Elon was going to turn up and save $2 trillion off the budget and all this, and everyone was like, oh, maybe they're actually going to have a go at like reducing the debt. Oh, maybe like the way these guys talk, maybe they actually can do it. And then like 6-7 months in, they're like, Elon walks out of the White House with a black eye, and it's like, fuck, man, I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and now they're talking about like
the
Federal Reserve is under a lot of pressure, and like it's looking like the government wants to control the Federal Reserve, and that would allow unlimited financing of deficits, and gold is basically pricing like in advance of all that, right? Like, well,
it's trying to price something bad happening. Is that sort of a simple way to say it? Or volatility?
Technically, like for the last 5,000 years, gold has been money, right? Like it's only the last 100 or so that paper, fake monopoly money is what we've decided to use or it had enforced on us. And gold worked really good because you can't print it. And I saw an interesting thing the other day, like something stupid, like 75% of all the gold on the planet is owned by countries and central banks.
Wow.
Like humans, as in us, citizens of countries, don't own any. And it's doing that with the price. So what does that tell you?
Someone would be buying it, and it'd be the central banks and countries.
So why would they do that?
They know war's coming.
Well, they know that the paper that they print means jack shit. And they know that it's like the fiat currency is at the end of its cycle. So
awesome. Can't wait to live through that.
We might get to, actually.
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah, with our new central bank governor is loves the turbo print. So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of years go in New Zealand with the RBNZ, right? But it's a funny thing watching that, and you know the total market cap of gold is like $23 trillion US, and no one owns it yet. That's kind of funny to think about, eh?
Yeah, because it hasn't been mined yet.
No, as in we don't own it yet. It's just like institutionally owned.
Oh, sorry, what are you talking about?
Gold.
Okay,
Gold
gold
is $23 trillion in market cap size, US dollars.
Jesus.
And it, like, if you ask your neighbor, do you have any gold? They'll be like, what?
I did see a lady the other day coming into the gold mint. I said,
Hey, I was a gold bug once too, mate. I was one of those weirdos that, you know, went to the gold place and picked up a little coin and then was scared to walk back to his car in case something, like, no one gives a fuck if you've got a gold coin in your pocket. It was so valuable. You're like, holy shit, what if someone jumps me right now?
you know, I was like, are you going to the gold mint? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you buying or selling? You buying or selling?
Oh, dear.
And she's like, oh, well, I've held on to it for a long time, but I feel like I deserve a new pair of shoes. I was like, you do you, boo. Good on you. So I think she was cashing her gold in to go get a nice pair of shoes.
Nice.
Chazza reckons it depends somewhat on how you define gold above ground stock mine accounted, but a commonly cited figure is that central banks and governments hold about 17% of all the gold ever mined. So maybe it's not. Ask. This is from the Bitcoin Vault, maybe. The figure often quoted is for officially reported gold reserves held by central banks. If you prefer. Anyway, I'll just go back to some of these comments. Raycon shares. Gee whiz, is that company still going? I think I studied that when I was at university at Cairns, Chartered Accounting. Someone said, there was a real good comment. Oh, Mikey, you need to go on Taco's golf channel. Mikey's banned from golf, okay?
Yeah, I am banned from golf.
But I feel like he's been on the green, and I'm not talking marijuana. When money costs less, things that cost money cost more. Ooh,
Taco's the man. Have you seen Taco?
I've seen him pop up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I saw Geordie Barrett just roll out a video on golf on YouTube and just get straight to 10,000 downloads to him. Fucking hell, man.
What a legend,
punching out content for like 4 years and you
Taco
just create
does the
one.
best swing impersonations in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you like swing like
golfers.
Tiger, he swings like him. It's funny as it's like actually crack up how good he is at it.
You could build a data center instead of a house, Mikey. Nice. Harry Bull, Barry Hull.
Oh, man, did you ask ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I asked Grok. That was a mistake, bro. I got pages of information
Oh,
about how
jeepers.
to analyze who's got the gold.
Wowza. Rapid QS. Does Mikey pay for parking outside the studio or take his plates off? Mate, it is so expensive out there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mikey does have a few parks downstairs. Keeping the current electric. Gee, I'm just scrolling through all of these. All right, that might be. I'll just see if there's any questions over on Facebook.
It says broader private sector, retail plus non-central institutions account for 10 to 20% of the gold market.
Jeepers. So then where's the rest? Is that what you're saying? Like the
Institutions,
Yeah.
which is like, central banks, JP Morgan, blah, blah, blah.
It'd be interesting to see where Bitcoin does end up at the end of the year. What other developments have been happening out there?
Bitcoin's been a bit strange, eh? Like, I thought it was going to go a bit harder than it has with the ETFs and, like, Trump saying, yeah, we're going to do a strategic Bitcoin reserve and all of that kind of stuff. But it's just been slogging away.
Even some of those, what do they call them? Like Treasury companies, like there's that MicroStrategy. Like, that was making the NASDAQ and maybe the S&P 500.
I think it made the NASDAQ, yeah.
Do you know what has been interesting, back to New Zealand, is the amount of liquidations in 2025. I don't know if the media have been talking about it more, but I did look at some stats earlier.
Is it sad?
What's that? Is it sad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you were talking about like AI needing to be washed out, some of those things, and I think that's what we're seeing. Like, apologies to those who have been liquidated and been through that process, but that's what happens at the end of a cycle or at the end of a business life cycle is it gets liquidated, and it might end with no debts or it might end with debts, but the number of liquidations with hundreds of thousands, even millions owed to the IRD is crazy. And I keep referring to this interview from Sir Adrian Orr from January that I have saved on my phone because I'm unwell, and he's explaining how from like the bottom of the economic activity, it's 5 years for the bad debts to wash out. So you think we've still got a good 4 years of like yuck stuff to come.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were asking me like how fast the turnaround is like, and I was like, well, let's say you're 100 G's behind on tax, and whatever that means, your business, you pay 50% tax these days, don't you? So it means they made 200 now, 300 profit, whatever, and they've got behind on their tax, and then there was last year, and then your accountant's like, hey mate, you need to sort this out, and you're like, fuck, I don't have the money because I, did whatever with it, and then this year, numbers are dropping off, and then you're like, looks like I'm only going to make 120, not 200 or whatever the number is, and you still got a profit, so you got to pay tax on that new profit, but the numbers are down, so it's getting harder because your lifestyle's from the old.
Yes.
Like all of these is just like eating you up. So you've made 120 this year after making 200 last year. You got to pay tax on the 120 and recover and pay the tax on the 200 you didn't pay last year, and then you're forecasting out and you're like, I've got no one calling me, I've got no jobs lined up. Let's say this person's onto it and they're like, right, solution time. We're here today, and they're like, boom, 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 I'm going to take these actions and get it back going again. Like, you've got to be 18 months from here to get back to the equilibrium before you can actually start being like in the black again, right? Because you've got all these bills piled up. You've got to work out how you're going to generate more business. Like, that's a slog.
It is a slog, and I think a lot of people underestimate how long that slog takes, because the two other things in there is, one, your personal expenses have become worth more. Yep. So on the home front, if they don't really understand business and how it works, they're not just going to be like, oh, well, why are we paying ourselves the same as last year? We need to pay ourselves more. You still got to clear your debts, i.e. on your assets. So you've got to try and pay Heartland back. They don't care about your tax debt. Yeah. They're like, no, you brought that digger.
Yeah, the Ranger loan.
Yeah, well, you need to pay your Ranger.
Yeah.
So we're going to DD that out. So you've still got to clear that. And it is just like, it can be very tough to get on top of that. So it's no wonder that the insolvency practitioners, etc. are cranking.
It happened so fast too, because everything was flying.
Yeah. Also, I do think like some people are probably liquidating their companies and bouncing to Australia, which is, kind of sad. That's, I think, once we're finally through all this shit, I think that's going to be the brutal piece or reality that we have to accept once we stop talking about all of this recession and look how many Kiwis are leaving. It's almost going to be like, okay, the tsunami's gone back out now. Oh, fuck, look at the mess. We got all this money in term deposits. They don't want to spend it. They don't want to invest it. They don't want to do anything with it. We got all these aging business owners. Fuck, we lost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of younger people, productive, energetic people to Australia. And they've actually got a couple of years under their belt over there. They don't really want to come home. We'll just build back better. Like, I don't know if the slogan's going to fix that one, eh? Do you know what I mean?
It's transitory, man.
Oh, like, I almost wonder if, I shouldn't even say this. It's like, of course they are. Some of these politicians are tricking us a little bit.
Of course.
That the foundations have fundamentally been ripped apart. And we're just going, now she'll be right. We get the OCR a bit lower and we just get through this a bit. You survive to 25, in the mix in 26, and maybe in 7 you won't need to go to heaven and you can hire a Bevan or something. Like, seriously? Mate, you know, 3 of my mates have moved to Australia. I can't even go get on the piss on the weekend with them anymore to have something to look forward to. What are you talking about? Like, Barry doesn't want to hire anyone because he's sick of people and he doesn't want to grow his business or export or innovate. You want him to introduce AI? But anyway, I reckon, I live in the SME world, right? So I'm biased, but I can't help but feel that these governments, no matter what side, they don't get the SME economy, and they don't care enough about it, and they don't understand like how important it is. So when you've got like a young, hungry go-getter like yourself, and you're technically still, an SME, you'll grow past that. You keep putting barriers and shit in front of you. Like, you've got enough energy to get through them. Be like, fucking hell, man, leave me alone. But everything is like, oh, we're like investment boost for the bigger businesses. Oh, great for Higgins and Freightways maybe and whatnot. But like, that ain't moving the needle for an SME.
Nah.
Or a sole trader. And there's never anything from our government about small business, apart from them saying, "Oh, we'll reduce regulation." Well, I'll tell you what.
They actually kind of don't know, eh?
What, reduce regulation?
No.
Mate. No, Chaz is not aware of any credible record of
I'm
Christopher.
pretty sure that was a thing, but anyway.
I don't like to mug off politicians, but I can't help but give them nicknames. But I think I have to re-nickname Christopher Luxon to Lux Off because like everybody's so off him at the moment. Like, just,
yeah. Do you reckon he makes it?
I do because I feel like he's. Oh man, I always get this shit wrong, so this is probably a sign he won't. But I feel like he, like I know he doesn't resonate with the public and stuff, and that's the narrative, and he's out of touch and whatnot. But I think he, like, truly does believe that what he is doing is the right thing, and I feel like he'll be one of those real strong leaders, and it'll take someone to go, "Nah, to be honest, mate, like you're not the guy anymore." But until that happens, the only way I could see it happening is if like John Key or someone said to him, like, "Honestly, mate, you need to go," and then there's this like amazing plan that they have, but I just can't see. Yeah, I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah. Like you got a year, you're a year out. I don't understand how that stuff works either, but like how it all works.
I know how it works. If the OCR is 1.5, he gets back in.
Gotcha. So,
that's what he's begging
so
for.
the Swedish house mafia is about to roll over here.
Yeah, Swedish house mafia
cut it
came
up.
from negative interest rates, baby. Let's send it.
Mate, I saw this article and I need to dissect it properly, but because I haven't, I'll still raise it.
That's typical like internet life.
Yeah.
Saw this headline.
Yeah, we clipped something out, and it was someone the other day saying, "I have no data to back this up."
Yeah,
and it was
I
about
always say
crypto,
that, yeah.
and the internet went wild in it. But it's an article from RNZ, Media Watch, property news pumping up the market? ? And basically, I think they've gone through and analysed tens of thousands of articles to see like the way that what the article's talking about. So is it talking about housing as an investment, or is it talking about housing as somewhere to live for shelter and utility? And it's quite fascinating. Since 2018, OneRoof has become more and more important to the Herald's publisher NZME, which deployed financial firm Jarden to work out how to maximise the value of it. And in June, Treasury took a 50% stake in Stuff's digital wing, a deal based on Stuff.co.nz's website's huge audience as a vehicle for publicising properties for sale on Treasury. And aside from the stuff and sections devoted to property, news stories about the housing market and housing affordability also get plenty of engagement for news publishers. Who are the stories for? Frequently, stories about slips and slumps in property prices have been reported as bad news or a cause for concern. While general weakness in the economy is a problem for almost everyone, such stories often read like they're written for readers who are homeowners. Now, I think so his study scanned more than 100,000 New Zealand news articles over 10 years and analysed 600 articles on the housing crisis from lending news outlets between 2016 and 2013. Importantly, his study also conducted interviews with 35 regular news sources of housing stories, including journalists and editors. Their candid but anonymous comments are as revealing as the numbers. I got a pretty fair spread across the main print news outlets. They came from the Herald, the Post, Stuff, the Otago Daily Times, etc. Appreciate there's a bit here. I talked to also the senior editors. I tried one or two from radio or TV, but I didn't get a yes. I tried to speak to people from the housing supplements, but no one of those would talk to me. It is clear that the large majority of property stories frame housing as an investment commodity and discuss housing markets rather than frequently that they do as housing as a social and political issue. The Herald wrote 8 times and the Post nearly 6 times as many stories about the property investment and housing markets than ones about politics and policy. 40% of Herald articles covering all aspects of housing and property were framed around things like the ups and downs of housing market and whether it was a good time to invest or a bad time. Only 5% covered stories like homelessness, social housing, problems associated, or consequences of having a difficult housing market. The summary of this, I think, is that, of course, the media are pumping the Ponzi. But it's a pretty interesting, like what a crazy thing to go and analyse.
I was about to say,
research.
shit.
Yeah.
I wonder how hope you got paid for that. That sounds like a hell of a study.
Righto, mate. I think we've nearly been going an hour, so we've got a big event coming up.
Questions?
No, there's not too many questions here. There's people tuning in.
What about Facebook?
No, Facebook's well, I think I've got a live feed over here. But someone says stopping a podcast to listen to a live stream, which is great.
Nice.
But I think we might be well over an hour. Shit, we can talk, eh?
I just think on like what you're saying about Luxon and politicians and all of that kind of stuff. It sounded like you were complaining about politicians there, and for good reason. I think I don't even know how to unpack this. They're so bad that I don't want them to be involved in my life, but they end up getting involved in my life.
Yeah.
Like, if they did a really good job, you'd never worry. Because you'd just be like, oh, I can go to work. But instead, like, I can't use my car park in my building because some regulator came in here and said that the building's falling down, so they put some posts up in my car park. I can still use the building on the 6th fucking floor.
Yeah,
like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been to a stone? This building is made out of stone. It's concrete and steel. Have you ever been to a big cliff that's been there 1,000 years, and looked at it and be like, fuck, that's interesting. It's got no cracks in it. No. Like, it's just like we've like invented this red tape that is just made up bullshit liability, eh? And it's like, it gets worse once you start thinking for yourself, because you're like, that's stupid, that's stupid, that's stupid. And it's like, I was born with a gift of like using my eyes, hearing, assessing risk. I have senses, like, and everyone's got them, but it's like, we've actually been so regulated and so told what to do, and so many rules and so many papers to sign off, that we're like, forget all of our abilities and just tick the box. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It is. And then, like, kind of, with the election of National New Zealand First and Act, they're like, we're going to fix that.
Really?
It's like, nah, man. I don't have a car park.
Yeah.
Like, in a building made of stone and steel, they've got, like, these little poles up. And they think that's going to stop it because it's dangerous now. It's like, I can still go 8 stories up.
Yeah,
like,
why
it's
would
just
that work in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't.
Honestly, man, like, it's out of control, eh? And I see, like, you see them doing it to the roads, and what's up with our roads, government? You've started me now.
Yeah,
what's up
mate.
with our roads? How come we have a pothole and then they fill it in, and then literally 6 weeks later, the repair is falling apart? So I posted something about this, and someone said to me, because we closed down Marsden, I think that was during COVID, so it was the last government, I believe. It might have been this government, I don't know. Who knows? I blame them all.
The same.
Because we don't have that anymore, we import our bitumen and asphalt and stuff like that, and we buy cheap shit, and we're not in control of the process of making the material. It's cheaper to not grade the repair properly, so we don't dig a big enough like foundation to put it in. We just like get a spade and tip it in, and you know, it rains and it falls apart. It's like, bruh,
Yeah.
honestly, like, how do you think? It's like going to you damage your car and you go to the panel beater and he gets a paintbrush out and paints it like half the right color and then says, "Sweet, finish, bro."
She'll be right, mate. No rust
It's
anymore.
like, nah, hang on. Like, it's not repaired properly. You've got to do like the dent repair and put a bit of bog in it and skim it and sand it and make it smooth, and then put the paint on top and then a clear coat so it looks like no one's ever been there. It's like, what are we doing? You don't have an answer, eh?
I don't know what we are doing. Like,
It's kind of weird. It's like there's no, and then it's constantly like hospital this, nurses this. Like there's a wait, and you know. Okay, this is where it goes wrong because taxes have never been higher.
Well, I was going to say, you know what they'll do? Just raise the taxes so they can buy more of those potholes.
But how come they're taking more off us than ever? And all of these problems, like, why can't we pay our nurses? Why can't we pay our teachers? Why are our hospitals still in like the state of the 80s? Why are the roads falling apart and then the repairs not good enough quality? And like, no one answers this shit. Why are these regulations stopping like normal people from trying to have a crack? It's very odd, eh? And I think my only thing I can say to like National and the Prime Minister and stuff like that is, I think the job was bigger than you thought.
Yeah.
And it's like a massive one. Yeah, and a lot happened at the end period where interest rates went from 10% to 0, and we didn't do anything apart from pump Ponzi's.
Yes.
You know, and I think we fucked up a little bit.
Yeah, now we're going to pay the price.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking recently about, in accounting we have assets and liabilities, right? So we talk about it for Keep the Change. Your assets in your household might be your KiwiSaver, your house value, maybe even your car. Your liabilities are your debt. So your debt to the bank and whatever else. You might have some buy now, pay later, credit card, etc. But in accounting, we also talk about like contingent liability. So a contingent liability, to keep it really simple, but there's a technical definition, is kind of, we think that might be coming, so therefore we're registering a liability that we're probably going to have to pay for that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't think, but I don't know for certain, but I
know where this is going.
I don't think we registered like contingent liabilities.
Shit, no, mate.
Yeah, so if we really think about it in New
We
Zealand...
do the opposite. We count the super.
And go, well, that should multiply to this figure. So if you start going, okay, what is the cost of what's the contingent cost of healthcare with an aging population, and things like that, then you start to see, oh shit, we're in a lot more debt than's quantified now, or it's not due now, but it will become due. And you can't quantify some of those things. And I think we all have that in our life too, where we go, okay, I'm going quite well financially, then all of a sudden, bang, this health issue. Oh, you need 200 grand to be able to go get this surgery or whatever. Shit, I don't have that.
Yeah, the New Zealand government needs to start buying Bitcoin, Because the only way that they do it is go and borrow shit tons, like way more than you can even fathom, billions and billions, hundreds of billions, and blow the debt out to get stuff going. But there's going to cause other problems with that, and they're going to need some version of hard savings to, balance the liability that they're going to take out. We talk about how New Zealand's got a lower debt, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been thinking about this, and the public sector debt is low compared to Japan and America and all these other places. And we use that and we say that, we're doing better because of it. But you look around and it's even me, I'm man, we need to borrow some fucking money and sort this shit, eh?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like an Austrian economist, and I'm
But the funny thing about we've got low debt to GDP, well, probably a fucking good reason. Over the last 3 years, we've learned we don't know how to fucking grow it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why, because we have no idea. And we have an aging demographic of business owners and shit. So yeah.
It's interesting, man.
There's probably a good reason why we need to be mindful of that and not just go, oh, we should just borrow more because that country does.
Yeah.
They're a very different country. But
yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Hey, there were some questions as you started getting fired up. I guess what frustrates me about regulation, you get wound up more about it. I'm a bit more of a just do as you're told kind of guy.
Oh, that's how I act.
Yeah.
I get wound up and I talk about it like this. But in terms of, I had some people in here that were regulation people in the business today for a couple of hours. And it's showing them everything that we do to make sure we're compliant. And we're top of the class. We take it very seriously and make sure that everything is bang on how we need to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can't be successful and just be you can't be show me the roadmap of how you're going to grow the biggest mortgage company in New Zealand without being compliant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impossible. So you just have to.
Yeah, because reputation is so important in doing things right because you just get found out. Yeah, but what frustrates me with so much regulation and so much hand holding is we're brainwashing people to not be as to not chase their potential, or our whole default all the time for people is what if it fails? Well, what if it fucking doesn't, man? But we're so scared of failing or crossing the road when I'm not supposed to. But what if you don't get hit by a car because there's no cars coming?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just you got to be. Or maybe I could turn on that red light because there's not a car in sight.
The worst part
don't
is
do that.
We've turned that into liability, because it's if I cross the road like I normally do and I get hit by a car, it's my fault. But if Jane crosses the road and she was at the crossing, it's the car's fault, even though Jane didn't look and the car was coming and she could hear it and everything, but she obeyed the rule, so it changes around the liability.
Funny,
which means you act a different way because then you act with entitlement.
I often say this to you, and the university students asked me the other day about AI taking their jobs and stuff, and I said, I have this suspicion that in New Zealand we're always going to want someone to blame, and that's always my pushback towards AI and stuff is that even with a driverless car, I'm like, New Zealand will be like, And so anyway, it was about a week later, Tesla came out and you're going to be able to buy self-driving, but you're supervising the car because the risk still has to sit with someone. And who's it sitting with? Me.
Yeah.
The guy that's paying for the driverless car,
Yeah.
sitting on the steering wheel, is still in fault when shit hits the fan. So apparently someone says Tory whānau running for parliament. Thoughts? I don't know if that's true or not. Depression coming, or would a US recession? Mate, I always said this a few times on the pod, but imagine if like the world economy like goes to shit now. We just
Global financial crisis.
Man, I said to you the other day, I was like, I don't know if we can layer on that. Surely not.
I think we get like a equity market in a like US mini recession and stuff like that at some stage, but I don't think we're having like a credit unwind.
Seymour's removing red tape and you can now put your garden shed closer to your boundary. What the fuck? Oh, awesome. I'll put all my tools in there that I can no longer afford because they're too expensive from Bunnings. I don't have any. I don't even have a backyard. Try opening an ECE centre. 89K disappeared with nothing to show.
Yeah,
Like,
and
seriously?
you know,
So then you don't.
I get to see, but I get to see the bills that come through from families that do have to go and get childcare, and it's $3,000 a month and shit. It's like, hang on,
Yeah. How
$3,000 a month to chain your kid up for a few hours. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's out the
It's
gate.
insane.
Health system is a bit sick. I feel sorry. I don't really like talking about the health system because I'm not real close to it. And like the people who work in that space, like they live and breathe it, they love it. And I feel like they get tarnished by, but where I come from, like it's unfair that they have to work in that environment when they're literally like some of the most needed people in our society. I'm like, oh, could you just go stand in that cold 1940s building and hope that you don't get stabbed by someone that comes in here today because we can't
It
afford
does take a
security.
certain person to work in those sectors, right? And like those people are amazing because they're almost like made for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says, just keep nodding, Luke. He's on a roll. Overloaded health system. Yeah, it's pretty dire, but also the health of people in the country is pretty terrible as well. That's a contingent liability. Like that's what I talk about with a contingent liability. It's like, that's not going to be cheap. Feel like what Mikey's on about is the attitude thing you were talking about earlier this week, Luke. Yeah, just like attitudes are so important. I'm going to read you this final article, mate, and this one will probably get you going for another 30 minutes. If you guys were going to start a new business today, If you guys were going to start a new business today, what industry would you target? I might need like a couple of minutes to think about that so I don't give a rash answer, but my brain goes straight to like services.
Same.
Yeah.
I was just about to say,
It's boring.
I think goods is really hard.
Yeah.
And services, you can generally start with zero money.
Yeah.
So like,
and you can build it up so you can go debt free and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it bootstrapped. You can do it with low money, and you can, the clue's in the title. Service. Provide it.
Landscaping. So Connor, who I had on the Instagram story, and he came to New Zealand with no skills, nothing, and he learned how to be a landscaper. He'll become a top taxpayer in the country, and it's doable from nothing. If you're one of those people, a man of the land or a woman of the land, etc., and you
I know
like
some
that
pretty
stuff.
wealthy landscapers, eh?
Yeah, anything where you're servicing people who really care about their stuff. So it might be cleaning their cars, it might be mowing their lawns. People, like there's so much money out there. Just remember like 160 billion in term deposits. And when that shit is getting 3% in a TD, like they'd probably rather spend the money on having their car clean or their lawn looking epic for Nancy coming around for lunch than, tying it up and not touching it. That's just my suspicion of where we're headed. Do you think we're heading towards stagflation? GDP is dead and still inflation hanging around 3%.
Yeah, we're kind of in it.
Yeah, because GDP per capita is, is
Sometimes stagflation is, stagflation is kind of what we're in. Like if, earlier I said historically sometimes stagflation doesn't feel too bad, but that's actually just for certain sectors. Like if you own the S&P 500 and your wages aren't really doing much, the cost of living's going up, you're kind of all good, right? Like it doesn't feel horrific because like your net worth is going up. It's kind of like the housing thing in New Zealand leading up to COVID. So, but if you don't own assets and stuff through that period or the right type of assets, then it's brutal. That's like what they call the K-shaped economy.
Going back to the politicians, when you said you think that Luxon didn't realise how big the hole was or how big the job was. I think as well, like they campaigned to win an election, but that is now going to cost them because it was a short-term strategy to get in power, but they should have known things don't move that fast. Therefore, they need to pay the price for not being able to deliver on what they sold to the public they would be able to deliver. And I reckon
I don't
that's
think it was dishonest, though. I think it was miscalculated. In terms of Luxon, I don't know about the rest of the loonies in there. I don't feel like Luxon is a dishonest guy, right?
Nah, mate, he's a Christian and doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get any cleaner. But someone once said to me, hey, never trust someone who doesn't drink.
Oh, I thought you were going to say politician. I was like, yeah.
Most needed, less paid. Yeah, it must feel like that. Like, and so on that, right? So, teachers and nurses, good ones, right? They need to be paid more. Even like our defence force, etc. Like, it's very easy to make an argument for that, but equally, it's easy to make an argument for. But that's not how it works. Like, you chose that. You know what your income's going to be. That's not how an economy works. Therefore, you're not just going to get paid what you think you're going to get paid. So, like, see it both ways. But I do, like, someone's going to get shafted eventually. Who's it going to be? Like, is it going to be are they going to tax wealth? Are they going to tax income earners some more?
They can only push each sector of whoever it is, the boomers or us, the, millennials, or they can only push each one so far. And then every single time they will press the turbo print button.
Just create more debt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't, if you say to me, Mikey, next year your tax rate is 90%.
I'm not sending it anymore.
Bro, I'm out.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point?
Yeah.
It's like, I get 10% in New Zealand dollars.
I can't even pay my rates for that.
It's like, it doesn't, so you can't, they get away with it doing it slowly over time, but as everything's accelerating, and obviously we're at a point now where it's got like some decisions are going to have to be made, they'll print for sure.
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's going to be wild to see.
You know how people say like, oh, there's that article someone sent me. It was like GST 32%.
Oh, that's what I'm about to read you, mate.
Oh, yeah. Someone sent me that. I was like, well, that probably won't happen.
Like people get to,
Like if you say that you're going to take away super from the boomers, or, what is it called? Pension. Or whatever, increase the super age or whatever. And then you're going to tax the young people more, GST, to cover the cost of that. After the boomers have had a 50-year run in assets, what do you think's going to happen? They are not going to do that. Do you know what the young people don't understand? Or they're getting smarter, but they don't understand the printer.
Yeah.
So they will print to cover it up.
Mask it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is borrowing.
Yeah. And we'll increase our debt to GDP because it's fine.
And
it just worked real in the last.
It just means that, like, I don't think anything's going to change. Unless at some point, like Uncle Ray Ray, he's talking about, like, probably need a debt restructuring globally at some point.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting.
That's ugly.
Nah, that'll be fun.
Don't start a business, buy one. Lots of old business owners wanting to retire. That's true. There's record demand as well for business acquisition at the moment. Not everybody's in the position to be able to buy. But that's. But the boring businesses, the problem is that it's always the shiny shit that people want to start. The agency, the e-com, the social media something, the influencer, the YouTube star. But like a lot of those people, they could have sold fucking anything because they've built a brand.
Yeah.
Like I could probably launch some e-commerce shit tomorrow if I could be bothered because I have a brand.
Yeah.
So are you going to build a brand? Not everybody can do that. But a lot of people can service people and make their life better and charge for it
Brand
without
is so
needing,
funny.
a brand or an Instagram following or.
Yeah. I was saying to Josh the other day, like I've been through this process of forecasting out like the cost of client acquisition, the lifetime value of a client, all of these metrics, like tracking like leads come through to conversion and everything. And it's like, it's real funny because if you nail brand, none of that fucking matters.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's so much work up front to do that stuff, and then if you nail brand, it's like the phone just rings. It's so powerful.
These guys here, mate, so this is a brand, Daffodil Day, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I saw the other day, 6 mil they needed to raise. Otherwise, I didn't really know like how they're going to be going. So I paid, instead of paying $2 for that, I paid $100 to do my bit. And we're going to do the $100 challenge to finish the year off again as well for everybody listening. But I'm like, 6 mil. I'm like, man, come on. Like, I don't want to say it, but the older generation, how about kicking it a bit, man? Let's get that going for a little bit longer. Like, I'm like, surely 6 mil isn't that hard to raise in this country for something with that big of a brand. So when I pay for it, I'm like, what are you guys up to? She's like, what do you mean? We're fundraising. I'm like, no, the limit. I'm like, don't you guys need 6 mil? She's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, man, you guys all should know about this so that, like, if the media narrative is you need 6 mil, but then you're actually collecting the money on the ground, you don't really, like, the story's disconnected there.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so this article, GST at 32%, pension age of 72 among Treasury solutions to financial crunch. So I think this is when
the Treasury that said it.
Yeah, which is kind of scary, right?
Nah, they're fucking idiots too.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, Treasury, cheers guys. Hope you're having a good one. You'll be having, we've clocked off for the week anyway because we've 4-day work week, Treasury. I'm only joking, guys. I'm only joking. Someone is going to have to pay to keep the country's finances in order while the population ages, but who and how need to be decided soon. That's the message economists say the Treasury has delivered clearly with its latest long-term fiscal statement. It outlines the pressure an ageing population will put on finances, including from the cost of super and healthcare. It suggests some solutions that could be unpalatable if they were introduced on their own. Stabilising debt, the report said, would require an increase in the average tax rate on labour rate from 21% this year to 32% by 2065. If GST was used instead, GST would need to rise to 32% over the same period. NZ Super could be tied only to consumer price inflation rather than lifting with general wages. If not, achieving the same savings would require the age of eligibility to rise to 72, it said. Means testing would need to kick in relatively low levels of non-NZ super income to generate similar levels of savings. Treasury said the country's policies were not sustainable for the long term. Without change, by 2065, government spending per person would be double what it is today. House spending would be double, interest costs would be 6 times higher, defence spending would quadruple, and spending on education and social security.
It's fucking made up, right?
Yeah, like how do you even know, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll tell
It's
you.
like those graphs at the RBNZ where it grows 0.2 every quarter.
Yeah. Smooth as.
Yeah.
Infometrics Chief Executive Brad Olson must follow the content. Sat behind him on the plane the other day, introduced myself, said, your event's coming up soon. Yeah, correct, Brad. So shout out. Said it was notable that New Zealand Super was the only form of benefit that was tied to wage inflation. That sort of inconsistency does lead to some pretty odd outcomes over time when you have one set of money being given out to a group in society that accelerates and grows at a much different, much faster rate than the support and money that you give to another group in society. What else is in here? Treasury said the government could also reduce other forms of welfare spending. Oh, that'll happen, eh? But to fully offset the projected increases in New Zealand Super by reducing other forms of welfare spending, non-NZS welfare spending would need to fall by to 2.2% of GDP by 2.6 compared to an average of 5.7% between 2006 and 2025. Westpac senior economist Darren Gibbs said the time to act was drawing nearer. By 2030, there will be a very significant acceleration of ageing of the population along with the costs and associated with that.
So I've talked to, just for some added context here to explain how the printer has worked, I've talked to people like my parents and my parents' age and their friends and stuff like that, and they were getting told about extending the retirement age and stuff when they were young.
Apparently,
it's the same articles, man.
92% of them voted to not have some form of compulsory superannuation or KiwiSaver back in 1992.
Yeah,
I think that might be right. I don't know, something like that.
But like the thing is that they can bring up that in 10 years from now there'll be another one.
Because we don't really know how to fix it, so just like print.
Well, zero interest rates will fix it all, right? It won't. It'll be eventually it'll be catastrophic. But yeah, it's an interesting. I kind of have lost
interest.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff now. Like I used to be really interested in that, and I used to get excited about, looking forward in the country's future. And now I'm just like, oh, the NZ dollar's going to die. It's like meaningless. 2075. Fuck, mate. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have $10,000 notes. Like, that data means nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is easy, to think like, this is just another, like you can dig out old articles talking about the same stuff.
It's the same stuff. And like, you can almost, man, I feel like a veteran, Like, you can see what they're going to talk about in this election year, right?
Here we go. Okay, list them out.
No, but it'll, like the narratives will
gains.
be like the capital gains thing. There'll be taxes increase on this side, lower on this side, regulation this side. It's all going to be the same, and everyone's going to get fired up again. And then whoever gets back in, like bugger all, will change. We're trending in the same way, no matter which government is it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. The overall trend is not,
hasn't changed.
Great. Yeah. What do you think is like one thing that could happen that would genuinely like move the needle for New Zealand?
Oh man, people like won't like this because this isn't fit with like New Zealand's clean green image. But we have exceptional resource under our ground, like mineral and stuff like that. I think that hard money is important. So I think like New Zealand would benefit greatly, like El Salvador has done, if we moved and let people transact with Bitcoin, and let people save in it and not penalise them if they, let them transact in it and not get taxed when they transact in it. So they've actually got, like, that changes the time preference of people and they can think ahead and plan for the future.
So just on that, because like, there'd be a lot of people that just think, okay, Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin's a bubble, but so your belief is that it's not, and basically it's a better form of money because it drags up over time so things get cheaper, so then you don't have to be so concerned about, fuck, I need to make more money to like, because I'm losing, my dollars are going backwards.
Yeah, volatility is not risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you understand Bitcoin and I put a lot of time into learning about it, and once you really dig into it and you keep asking, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? And you find out how secure it is and how safe it is. It's actually one of the most unrisky things on the planet. Like, there's no third-party risk, there's no counterparty risk, there's no, like, no one can censor it. It's amazing, really. It's like, when you really learn about it truly deeply, it's kind of mind-blowing that someone figured that out, to me. And then the scary part is, well, you have to change your time preference because of its volatility in terms of, like, today it's 100 grand or whatever it is, 110 or something, and then tomorrow it could be 80. But if you have it for 10 years, it's like it's a limited supply and more people want it, and it's a very, very good savings tool for me personally. It's kind of changed my life in terms of how I look out further into the future for planning. The other thing that I've noticed, because I've been dabbling in these shares and shit, and
shares and shit.
Yeah, I have. Like, this has been a really interesting thing for me because I've been in Bitcoin for a while, and then I go and buy some shares of these like Bitcoin Treasury companies, right?
So the Treasury companies, they issue debt and then buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're financial engineering, and they're actually like selling their equity into the market and diluting their shareholders to buy more Bitcoin, and they make up this metric called Bitcoin per share. Anyway, doesn't matter. But what's been interesting is because Bitcoin I treat it as savings, and I don't worry about it because I understand how it works and it can't be taken from me or whatever. When you're in shares and you look at the financial statements and then you listen to like the quarterly meetings, and it's like, fuck, I forgot what it was like needing to trust people. Like, what if the CEO of this company dies?
Oh, mate, I worry about that with Elon.
Yeah, exactly.
I genuinely have to worry about assassination risk.
Counterparty risk. And, it's like, I had forgotten what that was like because you never, ever, ever worry about that stuff once you've been in Bitcoin long enough. It's like not a thing that enters your mind.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really like Bitcoin's risk, true risk, is like the sun having a solar flare and the internet blowing up. Like, it's wild.
Your conviction for Bitcoin reminds me of many years ago. I went to a property seminar. God, him! I've been waiting to drop that in there. Somebody said super will get unaffordable eventually. Would be good if KiwiSaver had some tax benefits more than just high tax rates. I I kind of like the idea of, okay, if you want to put a bit more into your KiwiSaver, then you get a tax deduction on that. So basically, because you're preparing
What are we
for your
doing taxing
future-
KiwiSaver?
Oh, mate, yeah, tell me about
At
it.
all?
Like anything.
What do
like,
you mean a
hey, we could tax
deduction?
that.
Turn it off.
Yeah, but
You're like, oh, cool, you guys are going to save for your future so you'll be less of a burden on people. I will tax it. Fuck off.
yeah, mate, honestly, like, it's just wherever you deploy cash, yeah.
You're not getting a handy, eh?
Nah. Someone says, imagine if New Zealand decided to be a major startup hub, offer insane tax incentives, bring super highly skilled people to the country, end up creating a ton of jobs and productivity. And like that was going to be my answer. Is not so much the startup hub, but like if we think about it, a lot of us have just been told that getting a job is the thing to do, and it's just accepted. But I just think, imagine how different New Zealand would be if we were taught from an early age about like entrepreneurship, but not just entrepreneurship, like just bartering, or just told like, oh, it's easy to make 10 grand, and like here's how you go and do it, and then some of those people would go, fuck, well 10 grand is easy. I wonder what it like takes to make 100, because you see people come into your world and they can't make it in the mortgage game, and I see this too in many different businesses because they don't have the belief that they can do it because they're just like, well, it's just too hard for me to understand.
That guy Nassim Taleb,
Yeah.
he's got a saying that there's the two most addictive things in the world is heroin and wage. And it's like they both come with dire consequence, right?
Yeah.
Like if you take those drugs, the outcome is guaranteed. And it's kind of like, that's a brutal way to say it. But I don't know how you change that though, in terms of like becoming a startup hub, and
Yeah, I think
that should be driven by us, not the government.
Yeah. But I think like the education, you look at Mahesh Murali-Dhar, he's worked at Canva, like multi-billion-dollar company in Sydney, and he's like adamant, we could be doing that in New Zealand, we just don't have role models. And so he's back here trying to teach the next gen to do that stuff. And he's like, mate, they are coming through. And the thing is,
Oh, maybe it is coming, that's good.
Yeah, and they'll end up hiring, much like Zuru. Oh, don't say Zuru, I'll get bloody triggered. But, there's like hundreds of people that are employed in New Zealand by Zuru. If like, they don't do their thing, okay, let's just move them aside for a second before people get triggered. But the same thing, it might be in an area that you do care about if
How
you
do we
get
get triggered
by,
over a toy company?
Oh, mate, it's 2025.
Yeah.
But like these people are coming through and they're going to end up employing people. So there will always be a need for employees, but it's like, the economy's so far fucked. You've got 400,000 people that want more work and they want more money, but we haven't taught them how to do it. And you think, but there's $160 billion sitting in term deposits and it's coming out, and you've got transaction account cash as well. And then you've got people being like, holy shit, I didn't realize I could do some landscaping for someone and they'll pay me all this to do it. This is epic. Like, there's such a big mismatch.
Yeah.
But it's not like everyone needs to have a business, but imagine if just 10% of people had been taught better skills, that it's possible, what they may then go on to do.
This comes back to ruining the currency though, man, because what happens is like you leave school and as you start getting more switched on and turning into an adult, you look around and you're like, oh, it's time to make money, and the first thing you see is house prices going up.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, I need to get on the ladder.
Well, I mean, look at, mate, at the start of this, like, I've got 80 grand. What should I do? Like, I don't know, keep stacking. No, I need to make it fast. Like, it needs to be faster.
Yeah.
Just like worry.
I'd be like, figure out like how to provide a solution, roll it up, multiply it, spend everything on ads and get running, But risk it all. Fuck it. It's 80 grand. No, that's not financial advice.
Yeah. You want a house, you aim for that goal.
But it's like, I think that does stop people, because it's like there's two parts there. It's like, oh, I won't be able to own my house, which means I can't have a wife or a husband, and that means I can't have a family. Like, I won't have somewhere to, put my roots down and create a foundation. And then it's also, once you're in, it's like, shit, we're making good money. We don't really need to do anything.
Yeah.
Like as long as our wage services it, and then we get another 100 grand in net worth every year, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I feel wealthy. Oh, and then I learned about this rental thing, because I did go to the rental seminar, and they told us, okay, this is easy. So like, why would I pick the hard path when the easy is here? Yeah.
I mean, man, shit, we're deep in it now, But like, these are multi-decade structures that we're talking about unwinding. Like, good luck.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
I think that NZ to like break free from that type of thing would need some form of shock, like a change in currencies like Bitcoin or something. I wouldn't even, like, if I was the Prime Minister, I wouldn't even make it you have to use Bitcoin now. Just be like, you can use it if you want. So it's your choice.
Yeah.
I'm a bit libertarian in that way. If you want to use like something other than the New Zealand dollar and the other person on the other side of the transaction wants to as well, then go for it.
Yeah.
You still got to pay your taxes even. You know, if you sell something and you make a profit and you declare a profit at the end of the year, don't worry if you made it in Bitcoin or not, like you got to pay your tax. Everything's still denominated in New Zealand dollars even. I wouldn't even like force that upon people to like start working it out in sats or whatever. Just real easy. And I think over time that would be super beneficial. And then the other thing would be like, if I was the Prime Minister.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Shit. Hopefully I run out of battery on this phone before he says something rash.
There's just a few things that I've noticed over time that haven't really happened, you know, like these are the things that I have a little bit of understanding or not really. I'll get myself in trouble if I say that, but the things that I notice because they're things that I care about and affect me. So, roading.
Speed limits?
But road safety and transport and the way that they're designed and all of that stuff and the way, right back to like how we're trained in getting a license. No one has ever decided to say, we should make Greg Murphy the transport minister so he can sort this out. And he's been effectively like campaigning for all sorts of solutions for years. And he has made some such good points, and like no one's ever been like, Murph, come on in. We need to have a chat, and we want to use your ideas. And we know you understand race cars because you are the lap of the gods from Bathurst, so we understand you understand a vehicle. He's got cool stories about shit that he did as well. So like, get that guy in. Fisheries. You know, like we talk about, we sell our souls to international trawlers and stuff like that damage the seafloor and shit. Why has no government called up Matt Watson from the ITM fishing show? He's been talking about it for years. Like we have experts in these fields and these guys do videos and stuff to talk about the problem, and you can tell they're really passionate and care about it and want to find a solution. And they've even thought about it and saying, hey, we could do this, this, and this. Like Matt Watson always talks about, if we looked after our fishery better and made it a tourism attraction, the revenue would be so much larger. I think he's done numbers on it with legacy and stuff. It's wild.
Yeah.
But we're like, nah, mate, let's go dredge it.
What would he know?
We'll go dredge it. We'll fuck up the bottom. You know, like, and I sound like a greenie now, eh? But like, these are like little things that I've never ever seen a Prime Minister do. We're just like, oh, that person from the accounting industry will make him the fishing minister. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's very strange.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's the weird thing about politics, right? Is that like some of the skill sets that end up in the portfolios, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm really glad I've got this portfolio. Like,
I saw this clip of like Conor McGregor doing a rant like I'm doing now. I think it was with that guy, Tucker Carlson. And it was like, we have a finance minister that doesn't have an accounting degree.
Yeah.
We have an education minister that's never been a teacher. He's like, what are we doing? And it's kind of like that, right? It's very strange. And yeah, I know there's always been like jokes that like politicians don't have real world experience, but they're not even connected closely anymore.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple of stories from like the COVID times where I think Rob Fife like walked away from advising because he's just like, nah, it's just like, I'm pretty sure he was offering his time up for free. It got too hard. Loggerheads binned it. And then you've got Sir Ian Taylor, I think, came out and was like, well, we tried to offer up the solutions and they would have been cheaper and faster than government and we got ignored. But I mean, it's always going to be like their side of the story. But I think, like, I would expect people in the private sector that are weapons to probably have some of those solutions and connections faster than government anyway. But maybe that's the appeal for the business community of Luxon, is that he would be seen to be like that guy and that he may listen. But I was talking to James Fuller from Henry the other day, that pod's to come out, and I was calling him the Minister of Sole Traders. Because
nice.
like he's built a database of
Literally all of them.
Yeah, and they can go out and like survey them and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and like, hey, here's data for you. And like, if he doesn't get pissed off at the friction of him having to send an invoice and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
knowing how much tax he has to pay, he doesn't then go on to build like this big business, hire all these people, and now have all of that data to say to the government, hey,
Very true, yeah.
the one change that, like, I'm all for KiwiSaver compulsory with one caveat. Now, in New Zealand, we have like wholesale investing rules. So what they mean is that if you want to take a shitload of risk and you kind of do
Just
want to,
been through this.
yeah, you do want to walk away from the main street and like there are cars going past and there's no one holding your hand to fucking cross it. They're
Yeah.
like, you can play on that road, brother, but you got to sign your life away over here. And you got to prove that you've either invested a lot, you're pretty switched on, you've got assets over 5 mil, all these different criteria. Sign your shit away and if you're taking the risk and don't come crying to anyone when this happens, right? Kind of loosely, just so that people understand it, but you can Google it. So my suggestion would be, right, everybody must contribute to KiwiSaver. And if you don't want to, well, then you need to prove to us what you're doing to save for your retirement. Because this is set up to protect people that aren't going to do it. So what we're going to do, instead of getting to the end outcome where the people who did do it are then going to end up getting means tested or getting pissed off because they become the envy, we're going to say, no, you all have to do it, but you can opt out if you can prove like X, Y, Z. So you might have 5 times the average balance or something, or you might have assets over whatever. Great, we get it. Cool, you don't need to contribute to KiwiSaver. You've signed your waiver here. But why are we letting people that aren't going to be financially sorted, like why are we like, nah, you're all good?
See, I'm like a little bit more libertarian bent than that, and I believe that part of the not wanting to save problem comes from the government from printing money.
Yeah, but they're going to keep doing it because you just keep telling us they're going to keep
Yeah, but
printing
I'm
it.
saying that what you're just talking about there is a plaster. It's not stitching it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not making the repair.
So it's
I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't do with my money. If I don't want to do KiwiSaver, get fucked.
Yeah. But then
And then like prove it. I'm like, no, I don't want you to know what I've got. It's not. I haven't done anything illegal. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So like, and you have a lot of people like
But
that.
you could opt out, and you would be able to opt out.
Yeah, but I'd have to prove my 5 million in assets or whatever.
It would be hard, make a couple of screenshots. but I don't think
I know what you're saying, but if the money wasn't broken and people actually could save instead of the money devaluing so fast, so they're forced to spend it on shit all the time, and that becomes a culture, and we end up in this like consumerism culture where we fix roads for 6 weeks and we buy the next iPhone even though it's got no upgrades and like all of this shit because we just need to get it out the door, the money out the door. Then once your time preference changes and you think, oh, I am capable of saving to buy a house because the price isn't fucked and I know my money's not going down in value. So if I just save for like 15 years, I'll buy the house. It's a very different thing to like.
So maybe compulsory Bitcoin account.
Yeah. No compulsory, man.
Okay.
But I know what you're saying, and you're kind of right. Like that probably will be one of the solutions. I think we're just going to slowly follow Aussie. I think we're going to have compulsory. I think the rates are going to go up, and all of that kind of stuff, and you'll have the same conversations though. Do you actually think the people that are commenting on your thing, being like KiwiSaver's a scam, blah blah blah, are going to lie down easily?
No.
You're like, they're not going to do it anyway. You know.
Yeah.
It's a different thing when you. If you are like, no, the money's a scam, KiwiSaver's a scam, like if you think like that, like doesn't matter what you make compulsory.
Someone was saying to me the other day, you know, KiwiSaver's not real, good luck accessing it. I was like, okay, I'm like, how did they get 3 billion out? You know, the people who currently can have access, was that like made up or what? They couldn't answer that. And they're like, you're naive, bro. I'm like, okay, thanks, man.
I rip KiwiSavers out every day for mortgages, man.
Yeah. And then they said, you need to look into fractional reserve banking. It's like,
here we go.
Come on, bro. Like,
So these people they're right. Like all of that stuff that they've half dug into is like kind of true. Like money is fake and it's printed and it comes out of thin air and banks have leverage ratios and capital requirements and they can lend out certain amounts over it and all of this stuff. But you knowing that and then calling it a scam doesn't make the end result of your life better unless you do something.
it would scare the shit out of me more.
Yeah. That's why I can't believe how good Bitcoin is. It's wild. It kind of like, for me personally, it fixes all of those problems. And like before that, I like gold and it was investing and I had property and like I was always trying to find a solution.
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone because of its volatility and stuff like that. But like, you also shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Because then you're trying to tell other people that they should not do anything to protect themselves because the whole thing's a scam. But like, what if you live till 90?
Yeah, which is probably highly likely nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I'm like, how do these people go research all this shit and then decide to make their life harder in the future? Like when I realised, 100 grand wasn't what I thought it was, I'm like, fuck. The only answer I can come up with is maybe I need a bigger goal.
Yeah.
No,
I need to make more money.
I'm going to go around telling everyone that 100 grand is not worth what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Hey guys, did you know?
Some people probably comment that and then, do save in Bitcoin or gold.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Simon says on Facebook, did a little experiment, got a balance, alignment and rotation done on the Ute, Ranger hopefully. Took it up north, 1,856 km round trip. Took it straight back in for another balance and alignment. The alignment and balance was way out and one of my steel rims was slightly out of round. The roads are in immeasurably terrible state.
Rounding up north, it's really bad.
Oh, that's sad, eh? Like,
yeah,
I remember I did something similar. I don't know anything about cars, but they were like, "Oh, you got a dent in your rim." I'm like, "How the fuck would I have a dent in my rim?" I was
I know
like,
how you did, bro. I've seen your rims.
"No, but like the circular bit." I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh no, it's
From
got-"
hitting a pothole, they warp.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Do I have to pay for that?" I'm like, "Is there like a ACC I can claim on or something?"
But it was the state highway's fault, so the state can cover it,
and
right?
I paid my taxes for that. So what do you mean now I have to pay for that?
Good luck.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh mate, this has been fun. I think we might be a couple of hours.
This has turned into a mega pod.
Yeah,
Shit, I've really just unwound on this one, eh?
couple of passionate lads. Right, I don't think there's any
Sorry,
extra
everybody.
questions. It's 8:09 p.m. Hey, everyone on Instagram, hopefully you've enjoyed that. I see there's always sort of been around 30 or 40 people tuning in.
Nice.
You got anything cool planned to end the year? Keep the change
unplugged, yeah.
That's gonna be sick. I mean, that gives me a lot of hope, right? Like 1,000 people, hopefully.
Mate, we were walking down to lunch this morning and
Bailey.
the guy comes up to you and
Yeah.
has
He
a
said he
yarn.
wasn't coming. Oh, cheers, Bailey. Yeah, I
You
already
better
put him on the
come,
spot. Yeah. But yeah, to have 1,000 people in a room, that are like excited and pushing for more. That's pretty cool. That's
100%, man. I'm looking forward to that. The last one we like basically got straight off a plane
yeah, man.
without sleep and stuff, and I was still good because the energy was mean.
Yeah.
Like that whole night I was fired up even though I hadn't slept. That was just cool.
Yeah, we got in at 5 a.m. Then
Yeah.
we had to do it. Yeah. So we're going to get on stage for a bit. Then we've got a few. I'm lining up some guests in the background. I'm keeping those kind of low key, but we're going to do like a sort of hard and fast mini pod style. Sit down, have a quick yarn. With different guests and
A little bit of Q&A.
Yeah, a bit of Q&A, and then a couple of drinks, and then maybe kick on to a local bar down the road at some stage as well, and just make a night of it for those that want to be there.
It's kind of exciting, eh? Good time of year too, I reckon. Like
Yeah.
everyone likes to have stuff like that on at that time of year.
Yeah.
But this one has like education and mean energy tied into it as well. It's not just like a,
Yeah.
end of year Christmas party or whatever.
Do you know what's been interesting? Like people say, "Oh, nothing ever happens in Auckland. It's a shithole." You book a venue like that, and then you start keeping an eye. I'm like, man, I can't. It's like impossible to get a date. I'm like, who's booking all these dates? Like, we got these dance things on, and then like there's some influencer coming from Australia.
Yeah, I do
Elvis
think it's-
Presley's daughter or something. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff going
It's
on.
funny because like I feel a bit bad because I come on here and like rant for 2 hours and then I leave here and then I go back to like my super positive, high energy, fun life that I live.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel a bit shit for like being, obviously I've done some thinking to think about the stuff that I've been talking about, but it's still like my actual attitude once I get out away from here is like, there's nothing that I can do about it. I've got a cool business that has really cool people involved. Like I really like everyone we're here. I love coming into the office and seeing people. I love going down to Christchurch. I love it when they come up here. I love going home to my missus. Like I've got cool cats that cost stupid money. Like, and then it's like, then you talk my other friends who I play golf with, they're doing really well. And like, Yeah, it sounds bad to rant for 2 hours on here and then go and do that without explaining that it's actually not so bad.
Yeah, but I think you can, what you're saying is you've designed your life and you've put a lot of time and effort into nurturing and curating it. Whereas like for a lot of people, they just actually think that their life is going to be shit forever. And they've accepted that because they've just been told. And it's a bit like when I say to business owners, okay, if you're frustrated at the government plan, what's your plan? It's like, well, you can't mug off when you haven't put a plan together for yourself. Like you'd rather be pissed
Yeah, I've definitely
off
done a plan for myself.
Yeah. And like that's the difference for a lot of people. They just accept whatever the latest narrative is, and that's their worldview and that's their situation. And you think, mate, like imagine, if you could see your potential and what it was doing right now, you'd be going, holy shit, what were they consuming? Who were they talking to? What were they doing? And it would frustrate you. And I think we can create that by seeing in our head where we could be and who we could be hanging around or where we could be living, and then reverse engineering, well, what am I going to need to do in order to do that? I think we have to remember too, it's been incredibly tough out there, and it's just a lot of people don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Like when it gets frothy, like a lot more people do want to do the work. So arguably things get a little bit...
Grinding is hard to keep doing year after year after year too. Like you have to have so much belief to hang in there.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Dr. Anna Bremen is in charge and we're going to get negative interest rates soon, man.
Negative interest rates, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they had in Sweden.
That's going to get that 160 billion out of term deposits. Are you serious? They had negative interest rates?
It was actually pre-COVID.
Did Sweden have negative interest
In her
rates?
defence, I believe she became the deputy governor of Swedbank in December 2019, and she was part of the group that raised them from negative interest rates all the way through to 0.5.
Timeline. Negative deposit rate introduced briefly during the global financial crisis, 2015 to 2019. Repo rate kept negative, reaching as low as negative 0.5%. December 19, the Riksbank raised the repo rate back to 0%, ending nearly 5 years of negative policy rates. Why? The move was meant to combat deflationary pressure, falling prices, support the Swedish economy after the European debt crisis, weaken the Swedish krona to boost exports. Impact. Mortgage and lending rates dropped very low, making borrowing cheaper. Savers were penalised. I wonder what Kiwis will do with cheaper borrowing. Savers were penalised with very low or zero returns on deposits. I wonder if you force Kiwi people not to keep money in their bank, what they would put it into. It's hard to work out. Banks absorbed most of the cost instead. Fuck, I got to go buy a housemate.
Yeah. That's our new governor.
Oh, wow. Banks absorb most of the cost instead of passing.
No, I believe that she started in 19.
Okay.
I think. And prior to that, she was at the World Bank and... Oh, mate, this will get everyone happy. She's a young global leader for the World Economic Forum, mate.
How have I not met her?
When you've been going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She must be joining the Auckland branch
She's a
soon,
plant.
hopefully. Yeah. What is the history of the reserve, of the bank's leadership? Man, I can't spell.
No, she was a deputy. She wasn't the head.
Oh, bank's deputy. Can you clarify which bank you mean? Well, clearly this one, you goose. I just asked you about Sweden. Bloody hell, Chezza. Live on a pod, mate.
Yeah, I don't use Chezza for that kind of stuff anymore.
Don't you?
I use Grok. It's way better.
Way better?
Faster, yeah.
This is slow too. ChatGPT 5 must be on dial-up. Danny Vuk dial-up. Shout out Danny Vuk. Led by the executive board, one governor. I want to know their names. Oh, Cecilia Skinksley. Oh, Anna Bremen.
Yeah, Anna
appointed
Bremen,
deputy governor in 2019. Elevated to first deputy governor in 2022 after Skinkley's departure. Background in the Ministry of Finance and Swedbank. Well, bring it on. Eh? It's a new era for the Reserve Bank. She did say she was going to get around the country, and I did think, pod?
Should we invite her now openly?
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Because I thought we can...
I would love to have a governor of the central bank in here and ask some questions.
Well, I'd be concerned. I'd have to moderate the convo. But I reckon what we could do, but we can get another mic anyway, but could it easily... Oh, yeah. No, we'll get another mic. We're not that poor. Yeah, I thought, it could be interesting. I'm almost tempted to, sit down with Luxon as well, eh? But I don't... What I'm a bit worried about with that is, I kind of one of those, okay, if you do somebody, you've got to give everybody a chance. And I kind of know they're all going to go on a podcast run next year. And...
You should. Do you reckon you're sharp enough to read through the bullshit while it's live in front of you?
No. But I'll have set questions, and I'll be like, okay, cool, mate, we don't want to hear about that. Like, I want to hear about these things. And I'd have to do some serious research. Like, what I like about podcasting is just having a yarn and going off what they're talking about. But with that, I'd have to be like, no, we've got an hour together or whatever. Like, this is what I want to know. And okay, that's cool. That didn't work, mate. So like, cool, stop there. Like, get back to this. And I like those people. Like, they are trained. You know, they are weapons, right? And they are very good.
That's Luxon's thing, eh? So what I'd say about that is, and that gives them like the 10 seconds to think, and
quite good. You know, they got the sort of they compliment you and you know, use your name and I've actually met Luxon a couple of times and found him like very great to talk to and charismatic. I've met David Seymour. I've met Minister Winston Peters. Who else? Oh, Kieran McAnulty. Get on with him, reasonably well. So, like, it wouldn't be off the cards, but I don't want to be like another fucking podcaster talking to the politicians leading into the election where I know I'm actually getting played because they're going to know, okay, this is the platforms to be on. Not saying keep the change, I mean the podcast platform.
It's probably time to do it properly though. Like, surely if you're a politician right now and you know that you're going to need podcasts, you know, maybe they don't know, but like they must know that.
No, they do because they've all got young staff now.
Yeah, but they must know that you can't go on and like hoodwink people, eh? Like, they're listening, they can tell if it's authentic or not. You can't get the questions asked in advance and all that kind of thing. Like, it has to be off the cuff.
Yeah, that's a good point to say, look, no, you're not getting the questions prior. But they shouldn't need the questions prior, like if they know their stuff well enough. Like, they're going to know more about it than I do.
I don't think they do know about the currency devaluation over the last 30 years and why it's detrimental to people's savings and time preference and how they act.
Oh, well.
We'll see if they answer.
Yeah, we'll just get man Mike on here. He commented on the video.
I saw, he replied,
Yeah.
What a legend.
Do you know him personally or no?
I've met him a couple of times. He probably
wicked.
doesn't know me, but I know his...
I'll drop him a DM, eh?
I know his mechanic was my dad's apprentice.
Wow,
so I know his mechanic.
So your dad taught him his mechanic?
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, eh? I wish we talked about this earlier because... it would have been cool to get some of these throughout this live feed, but I'd love to hear some people's wins. I love hearing people's wins and like what they've got going on because as much as the narrative out there can be that's really tough.
I feel really bad about going on that rant earlier now, eh?
No, we were getting into some gnarly shit. It's 2 hours 7, mate.
Is that?
2 hours 7.
It is a mega pod.
Yeah, I didn't know Dannyberg even had access to dial-up. Oh, get out of here, Simon. Look at them go. Great place. But I've been lucky to... I'm going to Christchurch tomorrow, actually. Yeah, I need to bloody wind down. I'm on the plane down to Christchurch, going to a conference down there.
Heaving down there, mate.
What's that?
Heaving down there.
Yeah, it was real...
we just got some outdoor furniture. One of our advisors, Anna, went and got some outdoor furniture in the Christchurch office. There's sun on the deck, so we've got like an outdoor deck ready for the summer down in the office, which would be cool.
Love it. Oh, mate, good couple of hours.
Yeah, mate.
Not like us just to go live and not have a single plan. Final question.
Though.
Connor, what does Mikey think of the new kettle? Oh, he's talking about that, so surely he's next.
Oh, not for me.
Nah, not for Mikey. Going to Addington Raceway tomorrow. No, I'm in and out for the day. But I do have a horse racing on Saturday. I've got the favourite.
Oh, tip.
Yeah. But
you're you own the favourite.
Got a favourite in race number 4. It's called
You
Out of
own
the
the
Blue.
Horse?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, got 5%.
And you won't give Taz a cat?
No.
I love it.
This is an athlete. Yeah, we've got 5% between a couple of mates.
Nice.
Scott Mewison says, about bloody time for that outdoor furniture. But anyway, Out of the Blue, stream at home in race number 4 at Riccarton on Saturday. It's $1.70. You can get $1.85, I think, boosted out. But
dear.
I've got one of mine that has his name on it. Yeah, no, he's not interested, Connor. All right, guys. Well, hopefully everybody's looking after themselves out there and, staying in it. The beautiful thing I saw today, mate, and I put it on the story, was the CEO of Freightways.
Oh,
did you see that share
I think
price?
I saw on your LinkedIn that you're saying it was a mic drop.
Yeah. Where it was nothing like world beating, but basically he was saying,
stop.
Yeah. He was saying the headwinds are over, so it's quite nice that the headwinds are over. So it's not easy, but the tailwind will eventually come. And then Garth Bray was sort of saying to him, well, given that's your view, has that made it easier to make investment decisions in the business? And he's like, not really. Like, we'll just keep going. Our team are pretty good at controlling what we're in control of.
Such a gangster, eh?
Yeah, and their share price is like cranking.
Yeah.
And it's gone through like the carnage, and a few people commented saying, yeah, stoked. Josh just messaged, and he's like, mate, just went to check how long your live stream was, and you're still going.
Oh dear,
man, that is funny. But yeah, I think that's the mindset, right? Like,
it is, man, and it's
different economies, different governments, different bullshit, different
issues,
narratives,
problems.
Yeah. Long-term strategy. Where are we going? What are we going to need to do?
Take action.
Yeah, simple as that. Righto, let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. As always, make sure you're taking action, and I would love to see you on the 5th of December at Keep the Change Unplugged. We're going to be kicking off around 6:30, but start rolling in from 6 p.m. It's only $26. It's in Takapuna. If you Google Keep the Change Unplugged, you'll find the Ticketmaster link. I'd love to see you there. Let's get inspired by some of these amazing guests that we've had throughout the year and get ourselves ready for an awesome 2026. Bring it on.